championship level team. So what does that mean for Nebraska?
Well, it means that this team is willing to go right up to the edge and cut it loose, not play scared, not play nervous. That was the big element from Indiana to Ohio State, was the confidence of this team and the willingness to go for it. They've done that. They hope to carry that again to today's ball game.
All right, let's now enjoy as they exit the locker room. One of the great scenes in college football, the atmosphere here at Memorial Stadium.
Will you suffer with passion? Will you make them bleed with passion? They want to win the game. They'll come after you. And you weather the storm. You have to be willing to burn.
Welcome in, everybody. Game just about to get underway. They're doing the tunnel walk, obviously.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Man, if we could get you a Sergeant Slaughter outfit.
I have several.
Oh, damn. Why is that music going on while the walkout music is going out? That's crazy. Welcome in. What week is this? What game is this of ours? Our 9th game. Man, this season's been flying by. What's going on, Bobby? Living in Omaha, Dave Matney, Brian Bauer, Jerry Branham,
Joey. Get it right, or he'll bring his green tea drinking ass over to your house. All right?
And here come the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
So what do you think about them hitting before games? Because they're doing it again.
I like it.
We just came out so flat versus Purdue after the hitting. It didn't do anything for us. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't look at it like, did it work for this game or not for that game? It's just getting the hitting going instead of it being a play or 2 or 3 in for guys to start getting real contact going and then settling into a groove.
A real man's talking.
Yes, sir.
This is a great opportunity for us. So, to me, this is about us. Every snap, just wanting to play our best versus their best and seeing what happens.
Coach, there's so much talk externally about bowl eligibility, right? Sitting on 5 wins here. It's probably being talked about it amongst the 80,000 inside the stadium today. How have you talked to your team about what this opportunity presents?
This opportunity is this, to play in front of these fans and this environment against a historic program like UCLA. Like, you know, when I die, I want to come back to moments like this. So I want our guys in this moment. Whatever comes after it. We got to play a great football team.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Red. Well, it is an opportunity that everybody is talking about. A 7-year bowl drought that Nebraska can't.
You got to figure they come out hyped.
Almost as long as Ty Robinson's been here. He ties
Right?
the Nebraska
so,
record with his 56th
I
appearance
hope they don't
this afternoon.
have it in their head.
He's got
we should have beat
old
Ohio State.
school
We'll walk
edge
to
to
these
him. He's
guys and
clearly
then
a
get
next level player, but
kicked in
today
the
he's going to be
teeth
a
early
huge
on.
key for this black shirt
They said
defense.
Micah
He said,
Mazuka's
got to
out.
neutralize him. When you flip it over for Nebraska
Tommy Hill's
offensively,
available, but it
they
sounds like it's going to
follow
be
the
Jeremiah
lead of the
Charles
freshman,
and
right? He has
Buford
not
as the
been here.
corners.
Yeah, they had you working with Tommy Hill all week, right?
All week long. I was really massaging that foot.
With evaporated milk?
Warm evaporated milk.
That's
the key. A lot of people don't heat it up.
Yeah.
Well, UCLA a week off, and you know Matt Rule's
Braun
got a lot of
Cobra in the
time to
house.
fan base and his
Tiger
players.
Shark.
Bob
Bad
Wagner
Star. What up?
is playing good football.
Romp 2.0 in the house.
Guys.
Big explosive play against Minnesota, and then it was the running
We're
back.
trying to have something else to be excited about other than sellouts. Something called a bowl. Is it bowel game?
It's a bowel game, yeah.
They call it. Is it bowel or bowl?
Mm-hmm.
It's been so long,
Tomato.
Gary.
Mike said Nebraska's wearing red in support of Trump.
Oh,
Does that offend you?
We'll see how this
Everything
shakes
offends
out
me.
in the
That's
ground
true.
game off the
Because
bat.
I'm a better person than most.
You are.
You know?
And you don't hesitate to tell us.
Since he came back from injury against Minnesota a couple weeks ago, he has really led the way. The Big Ten's offensive player of the week with a career.
They got some guys, Tigers Shark. I think they just need to have a little more time with the system and start kind of clicking. Seems like they started to do that over the last couple weeks. We'll see.
What do you think of that?
Well, I like it in terms of
UCLA.
dictate some terms. I will talk all
He was
day
saying
long
it there.
about who has the chalk.
They're
One of
not.
the running backs is fast, and one of the
Yeah.
tackles good. They've
They're
got a
not
lot of
bad.
good guys on the. They've got a really good linebacker. I think it was 49.
Challenging 3-3-5 defense. And on the flip side, same
I'm more
deal.
worried about
UCLA
scheme.
has presented a different
We rely a
plan
lot
over
when
the
we're
course
getting to
of
the
their last
quarterback,
few
getting
games,
pressure.
the opposing offense.
Seems like the
So I like
defense does a lot
UCLA
better
saying,
because I
"Hey,
feel
let's
like
take the ball,
the DBs
and
have a
by
little
the way,
bit of
we've
trouble,
driven
but
down
I
the
don't
field
think
the
that's
majority of our
going
games
to work this
season
game.
and either scored
They get the
or
ball out
been
quick.
on the
A lot of
verge
like
of a
3-step
score. So they're
drops.
very
In a couple
confident
seconds, the
in their
ball's usually
opening
out, so
stretch.
they're going to have to
The most
get
popular
away from
Halloween
that
costume
7 to
here
12
in
yard
Lincoln 2
cushion on
weeks
every
ago
play.
was
So they're going
that man's number
to
15.
eat it
He's
up.
wearing the real thing here today as he tries to get Nebraska bowl eligible for the first time.
Mike said you can be a Harris fan. He ain't talking to me. He's talking to
Mike,
you.
how could you not be a Harris fan?
They played at Penn State.
No one
They
ever
played at
calls her
LSU,
Harris. That's
and
so
Sean
weird to
Foster,
call her
the Bruins
Harris.
Head coach told him it'll be just like that.
Yeah.
This is one of the great scenes.
Dale Patrick likes my sweatshirt and hat that I picked out myself and had made myself. No help from anyone
The
else.
speedster back to receive
Kick.
the kick. And UCLA, by choice, is going to start on offense. So here comes Ethan Garbers, the best game of his career. He threw touchdown passes to 4 different receivers and
Ethan
scored one with his
Garbers.
legs.
Well, he's at a version
Your
of a
boy.
career high in
My
his
boy
last 2 ball
Garbers.
games.
I call him
This is now
Garbs.
his 3rd straight game with
I
this
call him
new
Garb Daddy, but
offensive
that's just our
line
relationship
for
from
UCLA.
before.
They need
That's
to
what you have saved in your phone.
this front, and I think for Ethan Garbers, the key to his success, his last 2 starts.
All right,
is
let's see how
getting
much
the
cushion
ball
we're giving.
out
It looks
quickly
like
to the
Sayer on the
tight
bottom.
ends
Yeah,
and the
Charles
backs.
is starting at the other corner.
The 7th
Guys, we
time
got 90
this
watching
year,
already.
UCLA
Please help us out and hit that like button. Big game. We got to get it.
in the 40s.
The stream
Gut.
boosted out. Good hit.
A sea of noise
3 yards.
and in a sea of
Maybe
Maybe
about
four.
2. He grind out
running
another
back
yard,
TJ
yard and a
Hart,
half.
A 4-yard pickup.
Such a big part
Over and under on
of
screen
UCLA's
passes today,
story this
Gabe. What you
year
got?
From the outside is how
I
can
think
they
it's gonna
run
be
the ball?
under.
His offense has struggled.
Well,
with
you
it.
got to give it a number, though.
It's
What's
not as though
it,
they
I
like
think the
5?
noise.
I mean, early
Oh,
on,
it'd be
you
way
have
over
to
5.
try
You can't not
some
run
sort
screens.
of a run game. You've got
You
to
just
make the defense
can't
feel as though you will run,
run
and I
all
like
but 5
the
plays
initial
of
call
screens.
and its positive yardage for this
I would
offensive
say
front.
mid to upper teens, probably mid-teens. Is why I expect him to
Crowd goes 0 to 100
go 15 to
before every
17
snap.
range.
And Garber steps
Throws
up,
out,
and there's
first
his tight end.
down.
It's going to be there, man.
Foul
See how
with
they
John
get it out
Bullock
quick. You're going
trailing
to have to
him
get
a
in front of these
pickup of
guys.
9 and a first
Start
down.
pressing
A
them.
nice job going through his progression. I thought he was going to go to Keegan Jones right down the sideline. Nothing there. Finds his tight end. It's going to be one of his favorite
Ash
targets
almost got his hand on
all
it.
afternoon long, and Nebraska knows they've got to match
Off the
up against
stunt.
him. Watch Nebraska adjust personnel
Y'all
grouping
stunt.
based on that tight end.
Fullback Leo Kemp has come into the game beside Garbers.
That wasn't a false
And he's
start.
going to give it to Harden, who gets stuffed
Good run D.
right in the middle. Jamari Butler to plug the hole. Let's take a look at today's Impact Players, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance.
Well, I really think for UCLA, it's these 2 backs, TJ Harden, Keegan Jones. They have to be involved, whether they're carrying the ball as running backs or influencing it as a wideout out of the backfield. And then on the defensive side, talked about Ty Robinson. You'll see a lot of Javen Wright as well at linebacker. That's the matchup Nebraska likes against Maliki Matavau or these backs. You see number 33 in the
Second and
ball game
9.
right now, at inside linebacker for Nebraska.
There you go, Sire. Get up on
What are they,
it.
like the
All right,
38?
stay up on it.
It was Matavau that went in motion.
Shotgun. Going to throw over the mid. Short.
Tight end Bryce Pierre is going to make
3rd
this
and
a
manageable.
3rd
Gary, in the
down
business,
and
we
2.
call it manageable.
It was a good read by Charles, man.
Nice job. Garber just reading the defense. You'll see right here in the middle, that linebacker, Javen Wright, he just is spying Ethan Garbers, threatened by his legs a little bit, and all of a sudden it's a little
Jacqueline.
zone scheme on the crossing routes to set up.
And I wish he'd play the linebackers like right there. I wish he'd play him a little deeper and the corners a little tighter.
It's a Nebraska defense that held.
Have to write that down too when you talk to
64 total rushing yards.
Tony.
When you talk to Tony, you'll be ready.
You mean when he calls and asks what he should change?
Oh, that was a nice throw and catch, man.
Yeah,
I thought Charles might slap it out of there, but nope.
It's good defense, just better offense.
Charles, this is his first start of his very
Of course,
young
bad
career
star.
in Nebraska has got a ton of talent. But J. Michael Sertiman's been around the block. Look at this route. Sets him up to the outside, and then he comes flat.
That was good coverage, man.
Great
He's just a little bit late getting his arm around.
Man-to-man look. You've got to come flat when it's third and everything. Nice route by the vet.
Rotation of running backs for UCLA. Now Jalen Berger.
Garber's in shotgun.
Bring an
Good
extra
throw
guy on the
again.
blitz.
A little bit of
Blow it up.
pressure.
Wrap up. Good job.
Stops him at the line of scrimmage.
What an extra blitzer.
Tiger says Hartzog's out today. Don't know if that's good or bad. Yeah, you don't know. You don't know.
He's one of the toughest guys on the team. You're right. 10 tackles a week ago against Ohio State. He's going to have to be a big
Buford
part
back
of this
at
thing.
safety
Remember,
now.
This defense, this 3-3-5 scheme,
He's out.
they want
What's
their
that there?
safeties down
You listen
near
to
the
some
line of
music?
scrimmage. You see UCLA trying to get the ball
The
out
stadium
right in
music
front.
is
Some of
really
that
good today.
I can't listen. I get yelled at for having
You little
sound.
cockhold.
So I got to sit here and
Second and 10.
Charlie Chaplin watched this game every week.
I mean, there's a lot of technology,
There's no
middle
technology.
ground between what's
We
going
have
on,
not come
right?
that far as
Physically
society
wins
yet.
that matchup against Sam Yoon, the center.
We still have racism
This is
running
where you
rampant. You
gotta
think we
neutralize
got
down and obvious
hearing
passing
devices?
down. I'd imagine Nebraska's going to bring a little pressure and try
Gotta
to
love
get
election
the
season,
base of
baby.
these receivers, especially 88 Maliki Mataval in the bunch.
everybody's learning. Everybody's welcoming other opinions. A lot of pressure doesn't get there.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Somehow he's basically wide
That's
open.
like a deep layup, bro. That was way too easy. Great throw, great catch. How did he get beat?
Because Charles tried to jam him and didn't get any kind of leverage on him.
This is the only freshman that really plays on this offense for UCLA.
It was all up to Gifford to get over.
a great move,
Make that
man.
route a little short, not
I don't know that a
Robbie
true
Gilmore. The
freshman's the
ball
dude
is
you want.
already out before he even gets out
Trying
of
to
his
jam
break.
receivers.
That's trust from Garber's execution.
I definitely
from
want to
Gilmore.
press more, but
Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator, told us of Gilmer, he's the real deal. And they get him involved
Wow.
early. Now Keegan
Little jet
Jones
sweep.
sweeping around the edge, and
Buford
he is
gets him
going
out
to
by
pick up
9-yard
9
gain.
yards and bring up second down and short. By the way, the Gilmer catch Yogi a 25-yard pickup.
And just think about Eric Bieniemy right now. Every game you go back and watch.
This
him
isn't
play,
the
this
hyped up
opening
nature I
drive
thought
is
we were
so
going to see
impressive.
from the
Why?
defense.
Because of the variance of that call sheet he's holding in his left hand. It's
Then again, this is
downhill run.
UCLA's
By then
scripted
on a
stuff,
crossing
right?
route.
So
it's receiver on a deep
is this gonna be
corner,
their best
and then it's
stuff?
the end around. You're just trying to keep this defense of Tony White guessing, and again.
either way, I mean, it'll give
Chalk glass.
Tony White and them a look, see what they can adjust after this. Hopefully, you just keep them to a field goal. False start. Finally, call false start. Hey, thanks.
that's
left
offensive
good.
offsides.
That's offensive offsides. My bad. I'm still learning.
Yeah. Thank
The
you.
left guard's moved. That's I don't know if that's who that was on
Number 66.
because I don't
Penalty,
get to
remain
listen.
second down.
So
No,
left
but-
tackle Nicky Prongos.
A couple plays ago, he
Every
jumped
week,
early and they
we're
didn't call
talking
it.
in advance of the game. You're thinking, what are the big keys to the game? And such a big one for UCLA is it's self-inflicted negatives.
I
mean,
agree
9
with that,
penalties,
Omar. We were
10
talking about that
penalties
the other
in
day.
last 2 times out. You cannot hurt yourself in the red zone in that regard on
Unfortunately.
the road.
And second down at 6 after the penalty. Harden gets it all
Jesus.
back and more. And another
Plain as day
UCLA
with their
first
running.
down.
Still could have got him
You know,
about
this
2
is big
yards
time by
short.
Sam Yoon, the center. He gets beat a couple snaps ago by
Damn,
Ty
bro.
Robinson.
You get a
Watches
penalty to
right
help
here
you
for
out,
UCLA as the
and then
play
just turn right around and give
develops.
them a first. Not the yards back,
Immediately.
the first down.
Into that
Just got
shoulder.
washed
Ty
out,
Robinson
and
actually
they
put
neither
him
one
on
of
the
them wrap
ground.
up.
I
They
mean,
just
think about
bounce
that.
off them.
The bounce back quality against an All-American, next level.
Oh,
caliber player,
Robinson
Ty
got it.
Robinson, and here comes this first-year starter at center, Sam Yoon, in the same drive with a bounce back.
So now first down and goal. And Harden gets stopped. And, you know, one of the stories of this game, Yogi, might be who takes advantage in the red zone. Both teams in the bottom
Yeah, Tiger, but did you notice how they did it? They called out that they
UCLA
messed up on the one play that the whole world knew they
in the
messed
Big
up
Ten.
on.
They scored touchdown
It didn't have an effect because we get a
47%
first
of the
down
time
the next
down.
play, and then they
And a big
completely
part, I
ignore
of
what they call two horseshit offensive pass interference on Nebraska. All the holes they let go, like they don't address any of it. So it's just to me, it was a cop out. Like, see, we take accountability.
He's at the top of the screen in the
Because you point out the one thing that was really a non-issue, and then everything else that really had impact on the game, they just glaze over.
Maybe a little pressure.
Thanks.
That's a pass interference.
No, it's not.
Well, the wide receiver's trying to sell it, and I was scared. Okay.
I mean, first the ball was thrown way out.
Down in this tight red zone.
Watch, he throws his arm up like, oh, I got yoinked.
Saw a little conflict
Our
there
pads
on the release.
touched.
Nice job by the transfer from USC, Sierra Wright.
3rd and goal, folks. A stop
The
here.
tight end. Or again, go on back to number 2, who was open on the previous
Please.
snap. And
Please get a storp. Shotgun from the 8-yard line.
Yeah, man, Rush almost got there.
Come on, a little bit of
That's a
pressure.
whole
Flushed out.
Yeah, good job, Robinson.
Attaboy.
By Ty Robinson, and now it's 4th down.
Man,
by this defense.
he looks
Every
like
time he
you.
gets an edge, they grab his ass.
He looks like you in your freshman year at.
If I slim down a little bit, he'd look like me.
Ty Robinson, clearly an active
Watch when he
player.
gets off
him right
this
in the middle right
guard.
there. Just
See how he
finds
just
a
keeps
way to
pulling
just
him?
Stay with his eyes on Ethan Garbers the whole time. Great technique there by a defensive
clean.
lineman.
They wouldn't call it on
Keeping
us,
his
so I'm
arms
not mad.
engaged on the
Right,
offensive
right.
lineman, but also
Now let's
keeping
get a
the
block.
whole
How's that
time
sound?
on Garbers.
Let's just
25-yard
completely
field goal attempt for Mateen Bagani. Chase Berry
blow our own minds with a block.
Salem
Huh?
Abdul-Wahab.
In there. That's cool. The way they move that ball to only get 3, man, I love it.
I don't think it's raining yet, Tiger Shark. When I was looking at the weather earlier, it's supposed to start raining around 2, but it wasn't like a high percentage. But it's supposed to, there's chances of rain all the way until like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. So possibly at some point there will be. I'm with you, Joey. Drives me absolutely insane, but if it works, it is what it is.
Why does it drive you insane? Because you get nervous?
No, because it makes your defense stay out there longer. If you don't break, okay. But sometimes you're gonna break. You eliminate your potential of takeaways and you leave your defense on the field a lot longer than if you're more aggressive.
So the alternative
And
is
you almost
aggressive.
always get them in position to have a shot at 3 points. But I still have a lot to teach you, so don't try skipping
That's
ahead
true,
to
that's
that.
true.
You
Well,
haven't
and I'm
gotten
trying to
past
learn
the first
right
level
now.
yet. That's like level
Will
3. You'll get
Will
there.
you let me know when I'm approaching level 1?
Oh, there'll be a ceremony.
Oh.
I have colored belts, and I give you a belt each.
Well, don't say colored
each time
because
you
it's an
advance.
election season. So
My bad.
you know, we'll pick a better word next time.
There's a coordinating belt that goes with the tier you're at. Is that better?
That's better. That is
Thank
better. That felt softer.
I want to say the right things.
Well, if you don't,
I don't care if I make my point or not. It's about whether or not I offend someone. Romp calls them woke shirts.
he does.
That's what he says. He wouldn't lie.
Joey said, "How about our second place Suns?" Oh, Joey, they're looking good, man. They're looking good.
Yeah, Tiger Shark. It's
Compared
like
to last
what is
year.
the temperature down there?
Where?
Lincoln. I'm assuming
Y'all's
it is
Lincoln?
here. It says it's 56 here.
Whoa.
It says it feels like it's 53. So them dudes from LA, it probably feels like it's 35.
Below.
Well, I don't know about that cold. It starts raining, it might feel like that on them.
Let me see what it is here in Austin. Bro, it's 80 right now. 80 and cloudy.
Ooh, man, you guys okay?
Well,
Turn the
I'm
heat
wearing
on?
a long sleeve.
Yeah, say, man. They might have to
I had
close
to turn
schools
the
on
air
Monday.
down. I had to turn the AC down in the house. You know?
Husker D, let me know if I can get a couple of them shirts, man.
Yeah, me too, man. I mean,
Me too, man.
trying to wear them around, see what that's
We've got
like.
some freshmen, though, like, is it Barney's from Florida, right?
Yeah.
Raiola's been in Arizona and Georgia. I don't know, man. Maybe we don't want it to get too cold and rainy. Some of our guys ain't ready for it yet.
Center for Nebraska. The guy's going to line up right over him. This thing in the trench is going to be.
Joey said it's 73 in Phoenix right now. He's basically freezing.
Joey,
how is it 73 in Phoenix? What's going on over there? Is it monsoon season?
Global cooling.
And catches that cleanly.
All right, Ives.
And gets a good run. Takes a couple
to the
of
19.
Yeah, not bad.
The 19-yard line. Nebraska gets the football for the first time.
So
when we return to Lincoln.
Question: is Quentin Ives not being redshirted because we like him to return the ball?
I don't know if he can. Wasn't he redshirted last year? He didn't play 4 games last year, did he?
Well, in the game at least, I was always able to redshirt Ives.
Oh, maybe he wasn't
in the first season. I thought he was a baby boy freshman. Does anyone know?
No, he's not fresh. He was there last year. Because when Ramir and Gabe Irvin got hurt, there was a lot of talk between Emmett Johnson and him, which one was going to be kind of the step up dude to go with Anthony Grant, and you hardly ever saw Ives. I think we saw Ives maybe once, or I could be screwing it up, but I thought we only saw him like once.
I hear you, Zero. I really hope Malachi's happy and trusting of the process, because I love Malachi. I got really big hopes for him.
Has he appeared in he appeared in one, right? On special teams? Or one of those games late. So he should still have 3 games he can go.
Okay.
Or maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
No, somebody was saying, Tiger's saying he's a redshirt freshman.
Yeah. I thought he got redshirt last year. Once again, I'll teach you. Don't worry about it.
Please do.
What I'll do is I'll say everything like it's a question, and then when I'm right, I'll gloat. And when I'm wrong, I'll be like, see, I told you I didn't know. I was asking. Yeah. That way I never have to take accountability.
So we're just going to get political ad after political ad after political ad. That's
all we want, right?
Wow. We'll have to keep it muted.
Do you get a lot of local ones there? Is it mostly national? Like on, say, your YouTube?
I've always got it muted. I've never, because then I'm always talking to the chat, you know? And I don't even watch Bears games anymore, bro. I just catch the replays.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch that shite.
That's a for show right on.
You know?
It's amazing. November begins. Only 2 home games left for Nebraska, including this one.
Joey said, if the first play today is a screen, I will quit.
During the week,
yo, those Ninja Turtles costumes are sick.
They're all here.
Settle down.
It's a good 5-day holiday.
I mean,
I'm not a fan of the green faces.
Turtles are above reproach.
You can call it a semester if you want.
We're going to
so
run.
After UCLA took the football first. And
shotgun.
For a field goal,
Bonner in the game.
Nebraska
hand off to my guy Dowdle.
You know, we talk about Halloween.
Beautiful.
He told us, Dylan Raiola, that he got several. He said 5 people he saw.
That makes sense, Jim.
Dressed as him on Halloween. Look at what
it's crazy. Like I get more ads than I'd ever gotten watching YouTube videos, and that's all it is.
Well, and they've convinced you to change your mind, right?
I've changed my mind.
Every time you get a commercial,
I was questioning, and now I'm
Raiola, a little bit of pressure. Ball gets slapped away. That was Scurry trying to get it to Nair.
He's really made sure that the game plan every week is done early, so we can have
you got to put that out in front.
It was, yeah,
covered.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
They want to bring a variety of looks.
3rd and 6.
3rd and 6.
Screenplay. Here we go.
On 3rd down, an early
Got to throw that screen, Daddy-O.
Watch 49. See how deep he's playing? He's a linebacker. He sets back like that, and then a lot of times one of their guys will drop and he goes like
like Zat. Raiola. Mahomesing. And dropped. 3 and out.
Well, the effort for this UCLA defense is so impressive. Watch these.
If you're going to run. If not, throw the ball away, dude.
That's Carson Schlesinger and Jay Toia. They just keep going and
Right there.
running and running. Look at Jay Toia.
I feel like having Hawaiians on
325
your
pounds.
defensive
Look
line
at
should be
clean a
illegal.
foot right there and just continually
They're
bring
too
in
good.
pressure, and they want to try to confuse.
It's not exactly
and force
fair.
Dylan Raiola to hold on to the ball, win right there for the UCLA Bruins.
Brian Buschini, the black shirt, the punter, sends it away to Logan Loya.
Decent punt, baby.
It's a big Nebraska
Yeah.
bounce.
Let her roll.
That a baby, Foley. Good kick, Foley.
Foley got under that one, dude.
Finally.
End over end.
Good to see he finally got his shit together.
Yeah.
See if he can keep it together.
But to be fair, the punter was always the best part of our special teams. You know, hey,
The
political
punter was
ad.
the best part of Ed Foley.
Yeah. Ed Foley is special teams.
Ed Foley was good at punting. He just sucked at everything else.
There's 3 phases of football. Okay, you got your offense, you got your defense, and you got your Ed Foley fence. All right. Don't get them confused. Zero says, why not run it again? 3rd and 6 is a little tough to run.
He's probably meaning on second down.
On
He
second
got 4
down?
on first down.
Okay, I like that argument. What do you
I
think?
agree with that.
But then,
I mean,
are you
a lot of
getting
it's hindsight,
too
man.
predictable? Or,
Yeah. If you run on second down, you get an 8-yard gain. It's like, yeah, see, obviously. But if you go to run it again and you get tackled at the line or in the backfield, it's like, you're just going to go back-to-back run?
Yeah.
That's what you like to do. Zaga, drives me nuts the camera angle we get, because that's what I like to watch, is like the coverages and how the routes are going. You never get to see it. That's why I wanted to see the replay that they were showing from Raiola's angle, to see if he like was open when he threw it and he closed it, or if he was that tight covered when he let it go.
D said Sat intentionally going to call his worst game without screens just so he can tell us the screens were working.
See, if we'd have ran some screens on this play.
But nobody, they called me a terrorist.
Mike wants free the nipple back. Hashtag free the nipple back. He'd get behind that. Don't worry about the game, Dustin. It'll be all right, brother. Let's get everything grooving. Alexander, the great and terrible, since they can move it with the pass and we haven't gotten to the QB yet, this is going to be rough. That's what I was saying, man, or kind of alluding to when we were talking about when he said that they're scripted plays or whatnot. Hopefully with all the defensive coaches, but White's kind of seeing what they're trying to do, he can adjust. And I feel like he kind of tried to preemptively adjust. There was some tighter press coverages on the end because they're coming out with the quick pass game. But especially when you got a freshman out there with Charles, I think it's going to be tougher for him to jam guys. So you're going to have to get him some help. And hopefully the linebackers play a little deeper. But
There's an above guy of understanding the deployment of his personnel against this defense.
I don't think they're going to sell out and just let him gouge us for 4 or 5 yards on the ground either. So
after a 14-play drive to open the game,
Play action, roll out, first
Wide
down,
open, easy,
right off the
13-yard
bat.
gain.
With a first down catch, he's coming off. You saw the numbers there from last week. He was a big part of it. Career high 5 catches against Rutgers. Make that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he's a dynamic possession receiver. He's got the explosive ability down the field, and I just think matchup-wise, he can be an issue. They move him in the slot, they move him outside, and now, as you see him lined up, it looks like again that's Tommy Hill, who's now in the game. It's been a minute
Tommy
since
Hill's
he's
in.
played for Nebraska in the secondary.
He's a little banged
Bottom of your screen.
He'll get to go the full game.
Handoff up the gut. They're going to get 3.
On the second drive.
Tommy Hill can't stay in there. He got up there and pressed that dude. He cut inside, and you can see he's like, ugh.
Talk about, NFL
If that had been a pass play,
First
his guy
play.
would have ended up being wide open.
NFL head coach Eric Bieniemy, a long time.
Oh, yeah, you're
NFL
right. His
coach
foot will
as
probably
well.
get
And
better
so
the
much
more he
in that
runs.
really
Got to
tough
warm
matchup.
that heel up,
So
bruh.
curious to watch here for Eric Bieniemy.
You know?
Where is he trying to find matchups? They know that they can't necessarily win one-on-one against this defensive front. They're going to find ways to isolate different players against this linebacking core and secondary.
Garbers, good pocket. hard
Left
to the back.
side throw
That's
for
where the
2,
ball
3
normally
yards
goes,
again.
right? Backs and tight ends.
Third and short.
Most of these completions for UCLA come from.
Nice job there. Just bringing in some different personnel group. For the first time you see Anthony Atkins in. He's kind of a fullback for them.
They might have to get Bly Hill out.
They like doing this.
Talking about how he's been playing and
trying to get tells in the early
available if
drives
they
in the
need to
game.
use him. But
What is Nebraska doing against this personnel?
Charles was kind of getting cooked.
that
Hill
UCLA
don't look like he's
has TJ Harden in these
crispity.
backs.
UCLA was 2 of 3 on third down on its opening drive. And they've got a 3rd and 4.
They don't have anybody now, so you might have a tight end.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pressure, baby.
I'm covered.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he's gonna run for it.
They got to get him, dude. That coverage was great.
Yeah.
That should have been a coverage sack or coverage tackle, whatever.
Willis McGahee came on the heat, and Garbers was able to escape.
The savviness of Ethan Garbers continues to show off. Watch him just climb the pocket.
Guys, we got 33 likes, but 100 watching. Help us out, man. We need to get to like 50 likes if we can. I wish we had membership gifting and stuff. Maybe I do.
Yeah, John Bullock just got completely eliminated from that play with that. He was trying to get around that lineman, and he just kept moving him wherever he wanted him.
9-yard run to keep this drive alive. Play clock is low again, and they get it off with 2 seconds.
Drops back, no pressure whatsoever. Pass only gets a couple of yards, though.
You think of this Nebraska defense, they held
Thank
Ohio
heavens.
State to 1 of 10.
Quick first quarter, man. Already done 2 minutes. That means
UCLA 3 of 4 early on in this ball game, and a huge part of it is not just the scramble that we saw in the previous third down conversion, but again, it's the getting the ball out. You know, in the first month and a half of the season, Ethan Garbers was taking more hits than anybody because he was holding on to the ball as long as anybody, and they just couldn't hold up with this offensive front.
All right, thank you guys for the likes, man. I got to 40 here.
That will hand it
nice,
off to
dude.
Jones.
Who was that? Was that Butler that had his hand in first, or was it?
Garbers has completed 8 of
Could have
his
been
9
him
attempts.
or Wright.
And you ready for this? Take a guess.
Somebody like grabbed him
How
and
many
was just about to hit the hole in it. Slowed him up.
They
Fight.
got a little something going out on the field. It has been chippy on the perimeter in the run game all game long between these two teams. And some of it has gone a little after the whistle. It's been close as we've been tracking it.
It's pretty tough, man.
Officials trying to be all over it in this one. That one a little too long.
That was Elijah Judy and Bryce Pierre getting after it a little bit.
Officials trying to break it up. Guys are just talking.
Why is their coach mad?
You know, new league, everyone's getting to know each other.
Yeah, there you go.
He wants a flag because they were both getting into it.
Well, it would help them, and Nebraska's normally punished for things like that. So he wants to know why we're getting special treatment today by not being hosed. Too much time to throw, brother. Too much time to throw.
And Loya held on a pickup of 17 yards.
When it comes to receiver play on third down, first of all, you see a little
bring
bit
an
of
extra
a pickup,
blitzer and don't get home. That's what's going to
just to slow down that rush.
And then you have nobody covering
It's
any
the
place.
deck from Logan Loya, the vet of these receivers. He's a redshirt senior. He's been around
Dude, this
for a long
defense
time.
zone
He gets
is
16
trash.
yards.
I don't give a shit who doesn't like
Knows
hearing
he's
it.
going to get popped. He does, tucks it away.
You sound like an alpha when you said that.
I mean, just
I'm scared.
I know everybody wants to glaze Tony White, and I think he's great. He deserves all the praise he gets. But
Don't you have a Tony
the
White
guys-
shrine in your bedroom?
in every room of my house.
5 on third down.
Every time we go into zone, it's just like, take your pick. You got 4 wide open receivers all across the field.
Nebraska's defense doing a
It's
decent
a
job on
2-yard
first
stop
down.
in the backfield.
And,
Yeah?
UCLA hasn't gotten much on the first down. It's even those third down conversions. And I'll tell you what, they tried a little bit of a tempo, tried to catch Nebraska. There isn't much that man right there, number 9, has not
Just
seen
don't have the
in
players
his
to
career.
run some of the shit he wants
And
to
to
do
your
on
point
defense.
earlier, we talked to Matt Rule about that Ohio State game, and he said he was the best player.
Especially with
on
that
the
Hartzog,
field.
man. Hartzog's probably your
Watch
best
it.
zone
They
guy.
argue that
He gets
point.
cooked in man a
Coming
lot,
off
but
his
that's why he leads the team in interceptions
game,
the rest of the year. I don't
in
know if
classic
he did he
Big
last
Ten
year?
fashion, the first quarter flies by.
No. We got timeout?
Has Nebraska's offense been on the field today? It barely touched it. 3 offensive plays.
Raiola with the little gold chain while he's playing. The little swagalicious. Extremely negative Mike says this team is hot garbage. I have a question for you, extremely negative, and this is actually off topic of the Huskers. How would you rate your sleep quality overall? Do you sleep well a lot? Because Gary was telling me because Gary's always suffered from like not getting good sleep, and he said it makes him really negative. Like during the day he'll be pessimistic, but now that you're sleeping better, you were saying you feel less negative. I was just wondering if maybe there's some sort of link between like I don't sleep good. Well,
not just negative, like in doom and gloom, negative about everything, but like worst case scenarios will always play out in my head.
That's,
you know what I'm saying?
That's
like
what I see from a lot of sports fans like that. Like Iverson. Come on, bro. Iverson will come in. We'll be down by 2 points in the first quarter, and Iverson will be like, the Suns are done. Durant's leaving. Booker's going to leave. Like, worst case scenario immediately snowballs, you know. You're not, I'm not saying you're that bad. Just saying
I think it's different. I don't know how to word it, but I know what you're saying. I think it's like two really different mindsets.
What up, Vacophobia? Vacophobia is pointing out that we only had 3 plays in the first quarter.
That happens when you allow them to convert every third down and can't convert one first down.
Does it?
But don't worry. Everything's going to be just fine.
Listen, the most important thing to have on your coaching staff, Gary, and you might not know this, is friends that you're comfortable with.
Gotcha.
Okay, if you're in a position of power, what you want to do to succeed, specifically to succeed, is hire your friends. There is no other qualification.
I've always heard that the whole idea of owning time of possession and keeping the other team's defense on the field is a myth. You actually want all the pressure of the game all game long to be on your defense. And then whenever they feel like it, your offense can sprinkle in a couple points here and there, and hopefully you win the game.
Real man.
We had a sack. We missed it. The last one we were close to a sack, so we're just going to keep playing, hoping to make a play, knock the ball out, get the offense out there, try to get them in rhythm.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
His offense only had 3 plays. UCLA's 22nd play of the day coming up as we start the second quarter.
Shotgun from the 40, our 40, pitch from the shotgun, gets out to the edge. Almost got the first down.
And a third down is coming up for UCLA. These are the first quarter stats.
You just go to total play, right?
2 yards.
Wow. I mean,
3 total plays.
They're still on their opening script when they get the ball back, but to Matt Rhule's point, this defense has been close on third down. They've been touching the
3rd and
jersey
4.
Of Ethan Garbers, but not.
This basically has to be a stop, man.
Here. And again, keep your eyes on 88. Matavao, the tight end in motion.
A sack out of field goal range would really quench me thirst. Throws over the middle. Holds on. Wow. Wow.
What's the flag for? Because he got tackled when he caught it? Nobody speared him, led with their helmet. He got sandwiched because he threw it into a tight window.
They're going to do whatever they can to throw one of our guys out of this game, bro. Watch.
Good to see him moving around down there. Certainly you think of
personal foul.
Personal foul.
With targeting. Defense. Number 2.
You say face mask or targeting?
With targeting.
How do you grab a dude's face mask when you're targeting him? Don't you have to launch to target?
Well, let's see the replay, because you may be made to look like a bozo if you keep talking.
Sturdivant's able to get up.
And I'll teach you whether you're right or wrong.
Also make sure this is a catch, Yogi.
Garbers wants to go to Matavao, comes right back, puts it in the only place he can, and then there's the contact. You could hear it from all the way.
That is not targeting on either player.
When it
not
happened, and you're right, it was great to see Sturdivant walk off.
If there's a face mask, it's right before he goes down. He's trying to pull the ball out and rips his helmet off. So that's fine if the face mask thing. But targeting, you're out of your ass if you think that's targeting.
I don't think that's a saying.
You are out of your ass, sir.
Well, I'd like to stay out of my own ass, if I'm being completely honest. So
how much more head up?
He hit him
can you
face
hit the
mask.
dude?
His head's completely up.
I don't know
his
how
face
else you're
mask
supposed to hit
gets
a dude.
smacked into him.
Or do you have to get out of his way and let him go?
That's pretty frustrating.
That's not targeting. There's no level. Pee-wees all
just
the way
in case,
up, or any
just in
where
case
that
it's not targeting, they'll hit us
We've
with that
got
face
that
mask,
face mask
okay?
to hang on
So
to.
don't you worry, you're screwed either way.
After further review, there is no targeting on the foul. However, number 2, there is a foul for a face mask after the play.
What did it say?
That penalty
No targeting?
will be enforced.
No targeting, but there is a face mask.
I'm fine with that.
Nice job by everybody involved in that regard. And again, the defender,
I'm sure he's
they've
not
got the
fine
right
with
to play football too,
It
to
looks
play
like he
the
might be
ball.
fine with
You
it.
didn't see Gifford leap, launch, any of those elements that you're looking
Condescendingly
for. The indicators.
fine with it.
Nice
But
job
yeah,
there,
okay,
there
yeah,
by
sure.
the crew enforcing the
For-
face
yeah,
mask,
yeah. No,
not
I
the
was gonna say
targeting,
same
and also
thing.
seeing the catch. So many moving parts, really impressive by the officials.
So 12 yards on the catch, and then you add the penalty to it, and they get down to
Y'all got any more of that bend, don't break?
I was going to say the same thing, Joey, but I don't think it matters when the play ends if you physically rip the dude's helmet off of his head. I think you're going to get 15 yards for that, no matter if the whistle's been blown or
Got a
not.
stoppage on the field for a moment.
So now we're talking to the officials, trying to gain clarity on something.
He's literally, I'm reading his lips. He goes, so there's a targeting, but you're saying there was a face mask at the same time?
And of course, he's pointing at the video board. With the officials are not going to look up there.
Sucks,
What are we
man.
doing here?
I don't want to be like piling onto the refs when there
Fuck
was
the refs.
maybe a face mask. It's just we've got
Well,
such
it's
a
not
bad
maybe. He rips
history.
his helmet off.
Where was the face mask? You rarely see a targeting.
He's not trying to. He's trying to rip the ball out, but he comes down and rips his helmet off of his
Got the
head.
20-yard
For sure.
line, half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Like the refs hate the refs,
Yeah,
like
it's
your
fair.
team
How many
hate the other
times do we
team.
see
It doesn't
targeting?
matter.
Rarely do you see a face
Yeah,
mask
it's
with a safe
definitely
helmet off his
yeah.
defender, but he got him on
Totally.
the way down. Right call by the officials, now giving clarity to Matt
I don't know what he's
Rule
bitching about.
on the explanation of the penalty.
I wish I could hear.
So it becomes in total a 22.
Like I wish they were like mic'd up on the
Yeah.
sideline. You know what I mean?
Play action. Couple of tricks. They gonna get in.
This is going to get really ugly.
No, it's not.
I promise you, it's going to.
Why?
Get ugly. If the offense can't convert, because the longer you leave this defense on the field, the
Well,
worse.
right.
they're
I
gonna
mean,
get.
we got to get out there and do something on offense. But I'm just saying
What
it's so
makes you
early.
think that's going to happen? They haven't done shit on offense all year.
Well, they only had
and
one
they started
crack at
off
it.
3 and out.
Execution.
Sometimes
All year
you
they
have
had
a
one
3
crack
and
at
out.
it?
Keep an eye on that.
No,
Oh, my bad.
no, this
I forgot
game.
we were lighting up teams.
I'm saying this
Offensive
game they've
side.
only had one crack at
Yeah,
it.
no, I get what you mean. Based off of the first part of the season, you would expect they're going to come out and take 30 on them.
They've been relatively flawless on 2 drives.
One of these
today.
halves, you know. 10-0 UCLA. Hey.
All these plays that they get on stuff is like, there's so many, they're not egregious, but there's so many holes that they're not even thinking of, like, you don't see them like even thinking about reaching for their flag.
This is right where Nebraska wants them, baby. All right? Right where we vaunt them.
I know people want a run game, but from everything, when I was going back watching them, the most success teams had against them was passing on them. Like, look at how many yards Indiana gouged us for. They didn't come close to that against UCLA on the ground.
I don't like what I'm seeing right now in this Cheerios commercial. I don't understand it, and I don't like it.
I just don't like the fact that the world has made it to where I'm like tired of the Kelseys.
That's what they do with everything, bro. That's
Like,
what they do with everything.
Not a Chiefs fan at all, but I've always liked Travis Kelce, always liked Mahomes, a lot of guys on the team, but always really like Jason Kelce. But the more, and listen to their podcasts on, but the more they just they're on everything and constantly, I don't know.
They make you sick of it.
Burnt out, sir.
Yeah. Patriot says defense can't beat their way out of a wet paper bag. Dude, I said it in our preview. I never know which defense we're going to get. Indiana defense, Ohio State defense. Indiana defense, Ohio State defense. Which will it be? Roll the dice. Whoopsie! Indiana defense. I mean, it's not that bad right now, but they're really not putting up any fight other than
the defense?
Nebraska. Yeah. Had a couple nice tackles.
Well, like
here
that
and there,
play,
a couple
both
stops.
outside guys going to the quarterback get held. No call. You saw the one where Robinson ended up pushing the quarterback out of bounds. He would have got there quicker, but his whole sleeve you see is getting pulled. And it's like, I get so sick and tired of sounding like a bitch whining about the refs, but it's the reality. Like if we could put a drive together by letting little ticky-tacky holes and shit go and they didn't call it, cool. But we get called for all that. They tried calling a targeting and had to review it for a half hour to realize, there's no way we can justify this. But don't worry, I bet you they would have upheld it if the face mask dude doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, when they're looking for everything to flag us for it, letting the other team get away with shit, it's like, how do you get a rhythm?
Nebraska's second possession is
Like I said, I hate
Look at what
being
UCLA has
ranting
done
about
so
shit like
far
that.
this
You
year.
sound like a bitch crying about the refs, but it's
25
like,
plays today
watch the game, man.
on
It's,
offense.
Tony Vargas.
can I propose
He's
a new
real
rule
piece of work.
for college football?
Sure.
For all football? When you take a half-hour-long commercial break after an extra point, and then you come back for the kickoff, you have to go right into playing.
No,
There's
that's
not
a great
another
opportunity.
There's
for
not
more
another half-hour-long
commercials.
commercial for the offense and defense to come out.
Well,
You don't need a commercial break for the offense and defense to run off the field.
I
When
was
the punt
thinking-
teams come on. Why do you need it for the kickoff?
I was
teams?
thinking what would be the best is if they are in shotgun, they snap the ball, he drops back, and right before he throws, they cut to commercial.
That'd be dope.
You
And then
know?
they blow the whistle, so he
Mhm.
stops, but everybody stays where they're at. When the
Everyone has
commercial's
to
over,
freeze,
like time in, and then he goes
and
ahead
they cut
lets
to
it
a
go, and
Taco
they keep
Bell
running.
commercial,
Yeah,
and
with
then they
Tony
come right
Vargas.
back. Mhm.
They cut to a Tony Vargas, Dan Osborne commercial.
And then they go, okay, go ahead and let her rip. That's where we're headed, I feel like. Did bro just kiss a jar of mayo?
That's Will Levis. Show some
Oh,
respect.
shit. I didn't
When you can do the
realize.
splits on 8 jars of mayo and stay that way, then you can talk shit.
He was looking like your boy Van Damage over there.
Mm.
Now, I know you're more of a Steven Seagal type.
I'm a big Steven
Can we
Seagal
talk about
guy.
Aaron's love for Steven Seagal? Aaron, if you're listening, I'm sorry. It's
He's
just
at the
been
game.
on
He's
my
probably
mind.
not listening.
Okay, well, this has been on my mind.
I didn't know he liked Steven Seagal.
He's my brother, but we're 10 years apart. So there's a lot of things that are. Well, there's a lot of things that are like, I don't know if it's true about him because it's like I heard it secondhand because I was so much younger than him. But it's like, I'm pretty sure that he was in his Steven Seagal movies, and that can't be so.
Well, I mean, people shit on him, but at the
No.
time, a lot of his movies popped at the time. They weren't like long or whatever, but like the Under
But if
Siege
you have
movies,
a
some of the other
functioning
shit
brain
got
and you
big.
go
So
back
people
and
were
you watch
it's
them.
like Nickelback. Like everybody shits on Nickelback, but they are really popular, make a shitload of money, sell out stadiums and concerts, but nobody likes them.
Except you.
And it is.
Except I'm diehard Nickelback fan. I can
Similar
listen to
vibe.
pretty songs.
Premier Motion.
Offensive play of the
Go.
game.
God, why wait so long to do everything? He's just not there, dude. He's just not there yet.
No, an incomplete pass.
His throws are late. A lot of times they're behind.
Incomplete pass. Oladejo was all
Find a
over
guy
the quarterback,
2 seconds after he's
Villa,
supposed
and
to
let's go
find
to
him.
Chicago and
Decides to run after it's too late in the gap or the angle he had is
Yogi,
gone.
Indiana trailing for the first time all year, down 10-0 in East Lansing. But Curtis Rourke hits Zach Horton, his 3rd touchdown of the year, He just been cut to 3. It's 10-7 Spartans.
Wow. How about that?
2nd and 10,
State's
folks.
played everybody really hard. They don't turn it over. They got a shot for a huge upset.
Plenty of time on the play clock here for Dylan Raiola.
Don't worry, guys. We're never going to run the ball. Pressured. Not really anyone open. 3rd and 10.
This is wild, dude. This is going to be...
It doesn't help you offensively.
It's going to be bad.
You're struggling protecting against.
Rule's going to come out in the post game and just be like,
2 snaps.
no, what do you guys want me to get rid of Satterfield? I mean, come on, how many times do you want to? Yes. Well, but we'll have to start over. Yes. Well, but consistency. No, we don't want consistency with him.
I mean, we can't see what routes.
Bring Whipple's fat ass back in here.
Is insistent on just zooming in on the pocket all the time, but he's not doing well. Like Raiola's not doing well at all with this pass rush.
3rd down. Pressure right up.
Speaking of pass rush.
Jesus Christ. Oh, I'll get back.
All right, man.
And there are boos here at Memorial Stadium.
Well, the previous play, as there's a late flag.
Got a late flag here. Who's it
I don't know if
against?
that's going to be on UCLA with some extracurricular, right?
Maybe a little taunting?
Yeah, and Deshaun
Ooh, we got some taunting.
Screaming at his defense to get over to the sideline. I mean, UCLA, they've hurt themselves so much this season.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 2, his first of the game. 15-yard penalty, automatic.
Wow, that is a bad mistake.
And look, you see DRE.
That
on
is
the back
insane.
Of the hat and the jacket of the head coach. The D is disciplined, man. I mean, it's discipline, and this team cannot hurt themselves. They're not good enough in that regard in this environment on the road. Let's see where he is. He's right here. Let's see what he does. He looks over to the sideline.
Walks towards their sideline.
Yeah, I mean, didn't have a great look at what he did. It's an emotional game, but still, it's a self-inflicted
Raiola under
UCLA.
center.
Nebraska take advantage of.
They're going to run and get stopped for maybe 1 yard, folks.
I mean, if he doesn't commit that penalty, you're
That's
looking
what we're
at
doing
as
today.
many punts as offensive yards in the game for Nebraska.
What up, Brady?
And potentially good field position.
It's bad off the bat,
so
Brady.
here's the deal
Bad.
right now for UCLA defensively as their dominant defenders come back in after being out of snap, and Toia and Oluwadejo. Nebraska's got to find a way to protect against this unique defensive front. Again, guys standing up, coming from a variety of different areas and depths.
Ramir Johnson, the back, missed last week's game against Ohio State due to injury. And he's going to.
Raiola's got time.
Raiola,
He's going to throw deep.
To take a shot for
Oh my God. How did that happen? If that was NFL, that's a touchdown, but, well, they probably go after him, but what a throw.
Nebraska's offense is suddenly away.
Tell me if you guys agree. When that ball was in the air, I'm like, okay, holy cow, this is wobbly. It felt like he threw it short. Please tell me the ball didn't bobble. Didn't touch the ground.
And there it is, freshman to freshman.
They're going to review it.
When they arrived, and this
Previous
offense
plays under further review.
needed an explosive play. They'll clearly take a look at it. From that first look, though, guy, I thought that other arm got underneath the ball when it started to move. Here's a look. I think it gets tipped from Wallace.
No, it didn't get tipped.
It's in his right arm. It looks
That looks like he saved it. From that angle, it looks like his elbow is what bounced it up into his body. Yeah, you're muted.
Take a look at it again. It's that left elbow. Keep an eye on it as he turns. Called a catch on the field, so it's got to be clear and obvious that it's not.
Well, let's see. This is the angle. This is the angle. That's a catch, baby. That's a catch. Now, there is a 50% chance they still overturn it.
There's no way.
Because
not only can you see from there the ground doesn't cause that to move, there's definitely nothing to overturn the initial call. If they called it incomplete, then maybe you could say there's 50-50 because maybe it's hard to have inconclusive proof that it actually was a catch. But especially with them calling a catch, ain't no way.
You met him. He just wants to rock. I mean, he is a confident player.
Now we can do 1 run, 2 pass attempts, and kick a field goal.
After further review, the ruin on the field stands. Reception.
Thanks, ref, because you really didn't want to get shanked over that. Trust me.
And how about the throw? I mean, Dylan Raiola, he's been getting banged up a little in this ball game. Deep play action. He's got to climb the pocket. You're thinking, is he going to get
See how different he is when he has time to throw?
Yeah.
He's just got to develop that being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
It has routes going more than 10 yards downfield.
Well, and guys getting open.
Great focus.
I'm sure there's a lot of routes going more than 10 yards downfield, but they're probably got guys on their hip every
They'll have something to talk about.
shot. That's why I wish they just leave the camera
when they go
back.
to the Chiefs game on Monday night, which is on the schedule. They hope
Play action, out to the edge with Barney again. He's going to get 5, 6.
There you go.
7, maybe.
7-yard pickup.
Leading receiver. They move him all around on offense out of Miami, and he's just so dynamic.
That's the rhythm you need, man. Now they'll have to start worrying about other shit.
Well, I think he's went from
Might be
freshman
So did you see
Only
what
with
did you see what happened to how we got the first down?
No.
Because when you left, it was 4th. You walked away, they taunted and got a 15-yard penalty. Gifted us 15 yards, and then the next play we threw
And they
a ball.
called it. That's wild.
Yeah.
You go play action here.
Drive extended after a penalty.
Oh, come on, baby.
You know, that's all right.
Yeah.
3rd and 1. 3rd and 1 and a half.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch. And here comes that 2-quarterback system. Heinrich Harberg comes on in here in the red zone. We've watched his role just grow. He and Schlesinger, this is going to be a nice little matchup because I think
3rd and 1.
Harberg isn't just the running guy. We know he can throw. He's played a bunch of snaps at quarterback. Let's see how he gets the
Harberg in the backfield with Dowdell as the fullback.
Harberg, QB2, is the back.
They give it to Dowdell. I like that. Crush his ass. Let's go.
Little power foosball.
And set up a 1st and goal.
Now leave
Yeah, that's the influence.
Harberg out there. You know they won't, bro. You know they won't.
Players, that a little hesitation from these linebackers. Is it going to go outside?
I'm dialing up naked boot right here. Raiola,
H-back, whatever you want to call Harburg, he can do so much.
fake the handoff, and
I'm dialing up Spider 2 Banana Y.
And so now 1st and goal. Nebraska's 14th in the league in touchdown percentage in the red zone.
Handoff.
Nice run.
Rushing run. That's what we like in Nebraska. Remember when I said it didn't have to get out of hand?
Yeah.
Remember when I said we've only had
And by that,
can I go backwards? Can I go backwards?
When you said that,
can I take back what I just said because I'm
we're
remembering
doing a
that
15-yard taunt.
Yeah. I'm full of shit. I'm gonna be completely honest. Full of shit. But we'll take
That's the magic of rule, man. He knew that was coming.
Oh yeah.
Calm down. We still got to.
Well, that's why Satterfield's calling things like. See, Satterfield's like, listen.
He called a play he knew would piss him off. And
It's kind of like balling up in the fetal position, allowing your opponent to tire themselves out by kicking you in the ribs 150 times.
And then
he goes,
over.
he goes, I'll let them kick the shit out of me so bad they'll get greedy, they'll taunt, and that's when we'll strike.
Little rope and dope.
Right over the defenders. We got it.
Definitely, if we get a bowl game, 0. We should go to the bowl game if they get one, dude.
Well.
What do you say? What up, Matthew?
I'll only go if it's in Detroit, Michigan.
You just love Michigan that much.
Somewhere north or northeast. That's where I want to be in January into December.
Oh, yeah. What if it's a cold game? No way.
It won't be.
Oh, thank you. What's up, Joe? Whatever it takes, man. And, you see that happen versus us so many times. We'll get a stop and get some sort of penalty, and then that gives them momentum. It feels really good to be on that side, be on the right side of that,
You're always on the right side.
Of history.
Because you're a better person.
gluten-free Oreos. Yeah, because that's the problem with Oreos is the gluten. Jesus, bro.
Those 80 grams of sugar per cookie are not the problem. It's that damn gluten that'll get you.
And I'm sure it is. And then there's people that are like literally allergic to gluten. I get that, but it's like, you know. How do you feel about Satterfield after that drive, though? Because I like the runs. I like the runs.
The way he lured him into a taunting penalty is genius.
I'm saying post penalty. You know,
I'm good on Satterfield, man.
I obviously
sailed for me.
Obviously, it sailed. I'm just trying to give due credit. He ran the ball.
So the other side that I bring up a lot,
unless
I'm
Rule
not
took
quick
over,
to fire people like you and most people, is because it makes a huge difference when guys are actually executing. I didn't see any plays I haven't seen all year.
The graphic earlier has run a ton of plays today. And it looked like they were going to get the ball after another 3 and out, but an unsportsmanlike penalty on Oluwafemi Oladejo.
Can we fire any coach? I need to see some heads roll. Whose heads would you like to see roll?
60 yards. And so now UCLA's offense will come back out.
You said heads, plural.
First, let's check in Chicago with Dave Revston for another studio update.
All right, fellas, number 1 Oregon getting a game in Ann Arbor, was tied at 7 when Noah Whittington.
Matthew said, who coaches the kids to execute?
14-7 lead, that's where it stands in the second.
Dante Dowdell, the former Oregon running back who scored here. Some big games today. But it's November. I mean, this is when the games really matter. This one we know matters so much to Nebraska. Trying for the 3rd week.
So when Ohio State has 5 stars across the board and they execute better than teams with 3 stars, is that just because their coaches are coaching them to execute better? Or is it because they're better players and they can do what's asked of them better?
Defense looks refreshed, Gary.
Was the one who committed the penalty that extended the drive.
Try to relax. Tried one run play at the A gap.
He's a leader.
Feels good.
Yeah,
seemed funny.
An injured player down on the field for UCLA.
That's my point, Joe. That's why I'm done with Satterfield. It's not a coordinator's fault if guys aren't executing the play, but it's his fault when he sees guys can't execute plays or are incapable of excelling in certain plays or schemes and won't adapt to what they do excel at. Just like, nope, this is what we're running.
And so now 2nd down and 9. It wasn't that, remember, for the first 2
their running backs going into the tent.
Weren't in 3rd down situations.
They do have 2 good running backs.
We just got to go boo-boo.
Take a look at the other one.
Can they get a manageable spot here with this crowd back into it?
2nd and 9, they're going to throw. Little bit of pressure, overthrown.
They keep trying to bring an extra guy. He's not getting home. Dropping back.
They've struggled on 1st down in this game, UCLA's offense. They usually got half on 2nd to set up 3rd and manageable. They got nothing there on 2nd, so now...
Yeah, I mean, kind of, Joe. I don't know if it's a my way or the highway. I honestly think that he's like a lot of people that play college football on PlayStation, where it's like, I like these 8 plays a lot, and I've had them work before, so I'm just going to go with these plays. Like, there isn't a part of the brain clicking of like, well, this doesn't work, so what else can we do here? How can we react to what the defense is weak at? Or how can I get this guy who does this really well to be more of a focal point in that?
Garbers escapes. He gone, bro. He gone. He's got wheels. Like,
Gifford.
I am sick to my stomach after that, bro.
58-yard run.
This is impressive. He feels the pressure. He slides a little to his left. Sees man-to-man coverage.
Yeah, Matthew, I hacked in. I've been watching it for a while. I was trying to game plan on you in case we ever played.
In the ground against Deshaun Singleton, and away he goes for another explosive play. And it's a nice job of him of not attempting to slide. We've seen this rule. Remember a year ago, if you faked like you were going to slide and then didn't, it was going to be a penalty. He kept running, a little hesitation, put his foot in the ground. We'll be back in a moment after another
I can't believe Singleton got cooked like that.
I mean, half of them looked like they were just jogging. Like they were just waiting for him to slide.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I'm with you, Jim. They keep trying to send an extra guy, and the pressure's not getting home. We're making a difference on the passing game. So leave the dude in a spy or play him a little deeper so that when shit breaks down or they do them crossing routes on them quick passing games, you got an extra guy tightening up windows out there. What do I know?
That was deflating, bro. I'm weird like that. I don't like it when the other team's quarterback runs for 57 yards.
Yeah, well.
You know? So I'm saying I'm weird.
Every
like
game
that.
last year that a quarterback ran, we got gouged, and that seems to all last season not be a issue that was addressed. We've had a little bit of it this year, not as bad as last year, but I think it's just because we haven't played guys that run much. But
do you think it's time to designate a spy out there, or is that?
I would do anything.
He's
with
not
the
that
guy
type of dude. It's just he can. You know, like he's not going to.
He kind of is. He's on the border of being that type of dude because, like, when you go watch some of their other games, like when they were, especially when they kind of started turning the corner and doing better, he had some big runs, and he had a lot of times where he was just take what was there and slide. So I don't care if they spy him or if you just leave that other linebacker as either another curl zone or flat zone, whatever, and then let him react that way. But the blitz isn't getting home. So stop sending a fifth guy and have him help out in pass coverage or be able to be a spy on him. See, last game he had 49 against Rutgers. He had a big one against Indiana.
A moment ago, a 57
I think the one against Indiana was like a
Garbers on 3rd and 9.
37, 27, something
Nice
like
job
that.
just trusting his own athleticism, right? He thinks he's a pretty good athlete, and I think the facts and the proof would back it up.
So now 2 backs for UCLA.
Garbage drops back. He's got pressure. Escapes it though.
Able to get out and get a
That's fine. Though. 1 yard.
Good hit on him too.
But see, they didn't blitz, and they had a dude out there on the edge to cut off that little valve pass to the running back or keep him contained.
Over the last
I'll edge you.
Guy has really
you
been playing his best football of his collegiate career. Remember, it's a new system with Deshaun Foster in his first year as the head coach. Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator. It's very interesting.
DB Allen.
God,
that is the worst case scenario.
The first half of this season have found
There's
a little
no
bit
way,
of
is there?
in their last 2 games, and especially
there's
the last
way.
6 quarters.
I mean, there's obviously a way.
There is a way.
The dynamic back is Keegan Jones. Quick throw.
Garbers.
Mokiawati Malala.
Complete. They're going to be probably
3rd and 1 because we love giving 10-yard cushions
right
to
there.
receivers.
This is all
even when we're
first
playing
year
an
head
offense
coach, you're
that's
managing this situation, right? It's 3rd
faces
short.
is the quick pass.
Is it 4-down territory? Are you going to kick it? You know,
a lot of
the
receivers get
situation.
10 yards deep.
I don't know. I mean, he's been aggressive this
2-second
season.
time
It's
for the
3rd
ball
and
being
not a
snapped.
lot.
So it makes sense to play
I go
that deep.
QB sneak here. You got to find a way to submarine against these monster D tackles.
Guys, back up. You're way too close. Good.
Stopped him,
Shut
baby.
down.
Stopped
Right,
him.
And it's going to be
My
4th
bend
down
but
and maybe
don't
half a
break
yard.
style.
Ty Robinson, Nash Hutmaker, good luck.
Your bend but don't break style is on the verge of giving up its
Here
6th
comes some
point.
extra offensive linemen in for UCLA. They have this pass.
They're going for it. 4th and
Inches.
inches. That is.
It
I
was
mean,
3rd and
to
1,
me,
and
I'll
he
be honest.
lost inches.
Nah, I thought he had some
In fact, 6 in a row.
You don't
progress.
shit, and you're blind.
I don't, but I thought he had forward prog.
This place would go wild. Whistles
If they go
before
up the
the
middle
play
speed
gets
stuff.
off.
Nope.
Whistles
Oh,
stop
what
the play,
happened?
They've been blown at dead.
and we'll take a 30-second break.
Timeout. Skrrr.
Nebraska, they're first of the half. You have 30-second charge time.
Dan Osborne.
What do you think about that, man? Because then you give them time
Shut
now
up.
to dial
Shut up. There's a
something
Dan
up.
Osborne commercial on.
Oh, shit.
He's a real independent. What were you saying?
Oh, shit. Is this a Nebraska guy?
Yeah. He's a Nebraska guy that is supposedly an independent, but when I was looking into him, I'm one of those weird guys that kind of look into people before I vote.
Shouldn't do that.
But
you should let
apparently
celebrities
all
tell
of
you who
his
to vote
donor
for.
money is coming from California.
That's a good thing.
That's the best thing.
Okay.
If any state should be the model for the rest of the states, it's California. What were you asking me though before?
Topical.
See UCLA, what they've done this year on 4th down, 7 of 10.
You were asking something.
Looks like UCLA's coming back. Just
Yeah, but your bigotry threw me off.
That's the plan.
Offensive lineman, Deshaun Foster might be calling a timeout here. Yep, here we go, another timeout.
UCLA's going to take a timeout. And
I'd be fine to never hear the Mo Bamba song ever again.
What's the Mo Bamba song?
State legislators are playing games.
They're playing in the stadium right now, and they're playing it like it's like one of the main songs on college football. Like while you're out there, it's so annoying.
I know how music in the stadium works. I'm asking about the song itself.
I don't want to. It's so annoying. I don't want to
sing it. Come on, sing it.
I don't know
thumbs
the
up
words.
in the chat if you want Gabe to sing the song.
I don't know the words. If you guys tell me what the words are, I'd be able to do it. I only know the cadence, and it feels weird, you know. It's like onomatopoeia. You know what I'm saying?
George has spoken. Thumbs up. Start singing, bitch. Or George and I are coming down on you.
Isaac said it's I got hosed something. Block this field goal.
I didn't know he said I got hosed.
Ugh. He snuck her in.
So Nebraska holds UCLA to a field goal. It's 13-7.
How does that song have anything to do with Mo Bamba?
I don't know. But, you know, that's something a honky would say, so.
Joe said, you just lost 100 subs.
I told Gary no. But Gary doesn't take no for an answer.
We don't take no for answers around here.
Snyder says, wow, enough time for a bullshit commercial. There's always enough time.
Well, don't worry. They'll come back and kick off, and then there'll be another one.
Bro, at some point, they're going to have, like, digital visors for the players. So, like, Raiola will be displaying a commercial as he's looking at you. They've got to maximize how much money they get off of these games.
Just died a week prior. Earlier
it can't be about the viewer experience.
And were embraced in a way that no road team could ever imagine. Nebraska wearing Nick's
what
number
up,
36 on the helmet. They released 200 gold and blue balloons. And then on top of it, there was an incredible game.
Can Troy straight up fire coaches? I mean, other than Rule? He can't have. He don't have say over Rule's staff, right? Or could he put pressure on Rule?
So you can tell Rule. That's basically what they did with Scott Frost.
To a player that really represents the type of Bruin that he was. And for UCLA this year is Joshua Swift. There he is with some of the Pasquale family, hugging, honoring him as he honors their brother and son. And UCLA honors Nick Pasquale's memory.
Yeah, and hugging Joshua Swift was A.J. Pasquale, Nick's brother. We had a chance to connect with the family.
First and 10. We're going to throw it out to the edge to Fedoni.
Fedoni. No blocking by the receivers whatsoever. Bonner and or is that Lloyd? Is it 19 or 18?
Of a son and a brother.
Rhett, it's just amazing to go back and
that's what I'm talking about execution-wise, but that's also why are you calling plays like that still Satterfield? Your receivers haven't been able to block with the shit all year.
And just could not believe the outpouring of support that he got from the Nebraska program and the Nebraska.
It looked like our wide receivers had no idea they were even required to block on that play. We're going to roll out, and that was lucky it didn't get grabbed.
He brought them back for that game because he felt like his team needed it. So they're down big at the half, and he didn't know what he was going to say to the team. And the Navy SEALs who were with him said, Coach,
why would Tony White go to UCLA? They just hired a new coach.
There were no adjustments
made. This is their coach's first year.
Points made.
I think that was one of the teams they thought last year.
And after the SEALs talked to him, they scored the next 31
that
points.
That or USC's
powerful
DC were like the main ones I was
tweeting about it.
3rd and 10. No one in the backfield with Raiola.
Of what a moment it was. Deshaun Foster was on that staff. Jerry Neuheisel, now the tight ends coach, was.
I think they're going to double his pay and have him call offense and defense.
He's got time.
Not a good throw.
By Carson Schlesinger and incomplete.
And just another note on that story.
This offense, I can't believe how bad this offense is.
Such a powerful one. I know anybody who's wearing number 36 is so engaged and connected.
How do you feel like it is compared to last year's offense when it was just Harberg?
It's just a really bad combination. You've got your key players, or what's going to end up being your explosive players, are all true freshmen. And then you have an offensive line that is much better than it's been in years past, but it's still not as solidified or as solid as you'd want it to be, having a true freshman at quarterback. And then you have a borderline, some think full-fledged, incompetent offensive coordinator. And then you have
sneak a commercial in here?
No perimeter blocking. And you have no like elite or very high-end route running, even though your quarterback isn't a runner. So you can't have a quarterback run game.
Every single year to whoever earns that.
You don't give him the time or the crisp routes to do what he's good at. So it's like there's a lot of work that needs to be done across the board for it to come together. Like I think you've got a lot of the right pieces in place, but just right now it's not anywhere near what it needs to be.
Yeah, Jim Moore also said that he had talked
What if our defense could score for us? That'd be
Talk to his defense. We need
delicious.
We need a ball so that we can have it and dedicate that to Nick with that football from this game. He said in the second half, Anthony Jefferson recovered
3-yard gain on the run there on first down.
Put it in the stomach and said for Nick.
Guys, we got 124 watching. Help us out. Hit that like button, please, if you haven't yet.
To have a visiting team and crowd.
It's both, Blake.
Us that way.
I'm not one of the Raul is untouchable and does no wrong. Like when you're throwing a pass to a dude 12 yards downfield and a linebacker 6 yards deep gets his hand on it, like it's not a good throw. And he's had a lot of questionable throws, or he panics when there's pressure, the indecisiveness if he's going to run or try to do a short dump off.
So unusual, but it's not.
That might have been a loss of a couple, bro.
Not the end of the world. Like it's what you expect from a true freshman. He needs to be able to develop, but it's not helping him develop that you can't fully run your playbook because your receivers don't run good routes. You don't get perimeter blocking.
Even though this feels so unfamiliar, for some people,
the line sometimes struggles picking up the blitz.
At Nebraska,
like there's just your offensive coordinator has 6 plays he wants to run, and that's all he'll do.
Versus the Cornhuskers. Third down for the Bruins. Offenses have kind of stalled out. Flags down, and that stops the play.
False start. I mean, offsides on the offense.
False out.
Offsides on the offense.
5-yard penalty. Third down.
Well,
so the rhythm that UCLA had.
This could be a big stop here, Gary.
Have not seen it.
3rd and 14, so we should probably put our.
Well, let's play a 17-yard cushion.
I was to say about 20 yards back.
20's good, yeah, just to be safe. You don't want to let nothing get over your head.
Right, then we'll run up and meet them,
Probably cut them off.
Scoring before the half has been really hard to do on Nebraska's defense. This is a 3rd and 14.
Garbers over the middle. That's Tommy Hill, baby.
Did he get his hand on it, or was it just
He did. He did.
You better hope to God he did, or I'm coming down
this.
Miss from Garbers. Tommy Hill all over it. Would have been an incredible catch.
Well, maybe not.
Maybe
not, but he,
That was just a bad throw.
He interrupted the.
He didn't. If the throw was on target, it wouldn't have been.
I think he interrupted his concentration.
Shut up. Shut up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He interrupted his concentration from 7 yards away towards the sideline.
Castaneda. And he'll fair catch
Hit him.
And we'll be back in 15 seconds.
Hit him, hit him, hit him.
Let's just go up 14-13 real quick, all right? Is that chill?
Chicken Big Mac. Big Mac.
That would require a first down or two. So probably not too chill.
Have you had this chicken Big Mac?
I don't eat McDonald's, dude.
Who does? But it's a specialty thing. Sundo said it's really good.
Well. I got to.
The hell? They came back
they
already?
Just came back. They were like,
that was.
Damn it. Unfortunately, guys, we're going to have to interrupt this commercial because they decided to start playing football again. We apologize.
The second half, the first 4 of the third quarter. Nebraska's been phenomenal in the middle 8. They haven't allowed any points other than the Indiana game where everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong for them. Can they capitalize on it here? Can they get a score?
Second and 7.
Clock, not give UCLA the ball back in the first half. To do it, they've got to continue to find success running the football guy.
This is just Nebraska's
getting murdered on total yards by UCLA.
Of the game. Out of the pistol.
Another handoff. Oh my God, bro.
Right, Jacob Busick, who's getting a lot of snaps today.
They were kind.
I'll never be on board, man. Like I know I'm in the
third down, they want
tiny minority, but they're
been in on a lot of run plays.
They should not be running
the last
the ball.
Couple weeks
they can't.
Offense,
They've been talking all year about trying to establish the run, and no matter what they do, haven't even come close. Had a guy close to sniffing 100 yards rushing. They can't block on the edge. The only way they can ever get any runs is up the middle, and after about the second time, teams just fill the box, and there's nothing there. I mean, you still have to run to make it a threat. And sometimes
here comes a blitz. Up the middle. He's going to have to throw it away.
He's
Good
just
recognition.
Done. That one dude coming in ruined the whole play for him. You see that? He quit looking downfield. He's dancing. He's like, oh, shit. He's just not comfortable at all with any type of pressure. Watch how quick he takes his eyes looking down. Now he's panicking. Dude's not even all the way
He looked for openings. Nobody's open.
He looked open where he could run to get to safety. And then just glanced up short to the sideline.
I mean, UCLA and Akaika Malloy have done a really impressive job this half of giving.
Here come the Boo Birds, baby.
Within the snap, within the pre-snap look of Dylan Raiola.
Aside from that penalty, how many first downs have they gotten?
As UCLA tries to set up the return, this
only a couple.
Look at
UCLA's defense out here looking like the 85 Bears.
Wow.
Come on, Foley.
Foley needs to get out there and make a tackle.
Foley needs to start tackling better on these returns. I got to move these screens around.
Lowe's knows this is the season of going all out.
I'm trying to watch this other score on these other games.
Wow.
Where real football is being played.
Golf Pro says fire Foley also.
To 33 when you're comping both offenses today.
I think we should just
they've just struggled
lease coaches.
Garber's under pressure, didn't even know it. Throws it incomplete. Flag? Flag?
Flag in the secondary.
Illegal formation, offense. Number 72 is in the backfield.
Every coach gets hired on a one-year contract, and then you decide at the end of the year if you're going to renew him or not.
Prove it deals, baby.
I mean, every penalty for UCLA has been, to me, a self-inflicted negative.
Well, you had the one personal foul, which was a big, and then the other 3 have been formational.
That's right.
Or false start.
I mean, you can get away. Okay, PIs are going to happen. Things are going to happen in that regard, but it's kind of been a story for this team. It's a big part. Deshaun Foster's emphasis.
1st and 15. Probably the last play before the 2-minute mark. And that's going to be a first down.
Big pause, and that's going to be very close.
For 2nd and 1.
On 1st and 15.
I mean,
1st and 15. Let's just throw it right to the first down marker.
Nobody will be there.
All the way to the tuck. In front of 3 defenders. Are you kidding me?
What a grab, dude.
See if UCLA lets the clock go all the way down to the 2-minute timeout or try to run another one. Looks like they're going to let it roll.
Timeout.
They have a couple of timeouts, and UCLA has a.
Oh, man. Ain't that a punch in the nards? Ain't that how the song goes?
Yeah, I think so.
Corey says, dude, we are so out-athleted on the field, it's not even funny. Oh, man. Nothing would make me happier than to just be able to fast forward through this game to see what happens. You know?
I can give you a quick sneak peek.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Hang on. I can't multitask.
Oh, shit.
I got some real shit going on here.
Oh, shit. Ugh. Jim says we can't keep up with an up-tempo offense. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens at the end of the game. It's like I'm trying not to say too many things negative about Satterfield because, you know, it's been said. It's all been said.
Well, as frustrated as I get with the defense and the cushion and all that, that's where Tony White is better than Satterfield. He knows he doesn't have lockdown corners where he can just go man and keep everything tight because guys are going to get burnt. So he's trying to do areas where they're in man, but he has help, has coverage over the top or somebody somewhere else where Satterfield will just go, no, we need to go man. And when guys are getting burnt, just stick with it because that's what you need to do in the situation. But that also goes back to my point with all of these coaches that people want fired all the time is like, do you leave the coach there and let him try to recruit and give it time to bring in the players that he thinks can run his offense, his special teams, his defense? Or do you go, no, a year and a half isn't enough because I'm upset at the last three coaches, so I'm holding these guys accountable for those coaches. And if you can't go Signetti or Dion mode and bring in 30 transfers that have played with you or like your style and I get to see what I want to see, get them gone and then bitch because you're starting over with that whole development process with another coach. I'm not saying any one of those stances is right or wrong. I'm just saying that's
just you talking.
That's just me talking, man.
Highlights to get you ready for the rest of a busy Saturday across the Big Ten. That's next on the Old Trapper Halftime Report. Did Ashley bring Halloween costumes or did everybody get off easy in Chicago? She's trouble. Yeah. Look at what Garbers has done the last 6 quarters. Do that math.
I'm ready to crawl back into bed.
85%, I believe.
TBH.
Right there. He's been trouble for every defense.
Yeah, I'm not saying Satterfield's not trash. I'm just saying.
Minutes, they've got 2 timeouts.
Garbers
look at Tony White.
First down!
He doesn't have
50-yard
players
line.
that can run exactly what he wants to run on defense, so he adjusts for them.
Watch him spinning again. Is if you don't bring pressure and give him a clean picture, he can carve you up. If you do,
we've already said that Satterfield needs to go. I'm not defending Satterfield. I'm saying with all these other coaches that it's like, if there's a game or two of something bad, get rid of this dude. But there's never ever a time where players are accountable. So his coach has got to go. The AD's not doing his job, making the coaches do their thing or making the right hires.
MJ Sherman comes on pressure. He's picked up by Harberg. Garber stumbles down. He's going to lose yardage.
That was a good little loss there.
That was a good play by the Turf.
4 yards backwards.
Turf really reached up and grabbed him.
Just the way Tony White drew it up. Look how deep they're playing now.
Mataval, the tight end, he's going to get some of that yardage back. Pickup of 6.
Okay, so now you're managing the clock.
We'll just spot him 7 yards on second down.
You don't have to be in a dramatic rush.
That'll make third down easier.
John Wood, be quick but not in a hurry as we get a timeout.
UCLA.
And we'll be back in 30 seconds.
3rd and 8, baby. We get a stop here. We go down and score. We'd be feeling real good, Gary. Now,
what in your pea brain makes you feel that that's somewhat plausible that they're going to go score?
No, I was just saying hypothetically if we did.
Oh, yeah. I'm just teasing, man.
You know, but to steel man the argument against you for what you're saying about coaches and players and the players never being held to account, it's always the coaches. And I'm not saying this is correct. I think this is just where people's brains are, but maybe they are the wrong ones. I think it's a thing like if we're watching a guy that makes pottery and we're paying him to make
Which
pottery.
I do a lot.
Yeah, we pay people to make pottery for us.
They get into the backfield.
We'll come back to that pottery analogy in a second, folks.
Yeah, I feel like it was.
I know that was a cliffhanger, baby.
Hanging on by a thread.
Oh!
Gets rid of it.
Beautiful.
Down by Jamari Butler.
So, Huskers will get a chance here, hopefully.
Big props right there.
Before the end of the half.
So if you're paying somebody to make pottery for you, and the plates that he's making are just consistently bad, and like you don't get mad at the clay, and the players are the clay. So like you don't, because the clay is moldable. The clay can be changed. The clay can be warmed back up, made back into a ball, and refashioned into something else. But these coaches, these potters are like 50, 60, 70 years old. It's like there's less belief that the coach is all of a sudden going to go through a metamorphosis and become a better coach. But it's like you think and hope, well, the players can. If anyone's fixable, it's the players. So let's get a new Potter in here. Now go ahead and beat the shit out of that argument.
I mean, I feel like you did that for me.
No, dude, that's a really good argument. That's a really good argument. I feel like I captured what people think. I'm not saying they're right. I'm not saying that.
Now,
that extended the
using
drive.
your same analogy after this play.
Shut up, a real man's playing football. Raiola's got Ramir in transition. Not that kind. Uh-oh!
Brought down by Sharif Say. And the extra pressure from Jalen Davis.
That was...
Maybe at halftime he'll realize he can't hold the ball for a half hour. Maybe Satterfield will realize we needed some quick passing game. Maybe he'll realize Banks was wide open on that play, but he wasn't even thinking about looking the right side of the field because he was so worried about what pressure was
progression. And by the time he is, somebody has been in his lap all game long.
And now even with those 2 timeouts, Nebraska's in no rush as the clock ticks down. 30 seconds remaining in the half. And they'll hand it off.
Ramir going to run it? Okay. Get him, Ramir. Not that anything's going to come from that. It's just
they're just trying to get out of the half.
Settled down here in these last few possessions.
Well, I am so looking forward to this second
back to your analogy.
Because the adjustments made by either staff is going to
keep in mind they might question Rule on the way off the field.
I'm not defending Satterfield. We did a whole video where I went off about why he's got to go. So like I feel like the chat a lot is like under the assumption that I'm trying to defend Satterfield when I say this. I'm not. I'm trying to defend the knee-jerk reaction that fans have to automatically go, oh, this coach has to go, this coach has to go, this coach has to go all the time. Let's say your Potter worked for this other museum or wherever he's making this amazing pottery for, and let's say they grade the clays in stars, for example, 1 or 2 all the way up to 5-star clay. And he's at these museums where he's only able to get 2- and 3-star clay, and he makes really good quality pottery. And then he goes to this school where he's told he's getting all this, or I'm sorry, he goes to this museum where he's told, and they're selling all the customers that he's doing this work with 4 and a few 5-star batches of clay. And it turns out the clay isn't standing up to what it was sold to be. Does everything he did in the past with less quality clay just get thrown out the window? Or do you at some point go, well, that's weird. If he's supposedly in a better museum with better clay, maybe it's not him. Maybe it's these other things. Joe's loving the pottery metaphor, by the way, as I'm sure most everyone in the chat.
Right. That's how bad
and that's
we are.
on you for bringing that up.
No, that's on the Huskers for being so bad that they've driven us to have this conversation.
Yeah, but they didn't make you use pottery as an analogy.
I mean, it's a decent, that's what these players are supposed to be molded by the coach. What else gets molded? I mean, that's what people are saying is like they're mad. Like Matthew was saying, like well, who's the one that's supposed to be getting the players to execute?
Well, what coaches are bringing in true freshman quarterbacks and lighting it up on offense? What coaches are taking players that have spent 4 and 5 years under horrible mentorship and coaching and development and flipping them overnight to be amazing? The coaches you see come in and have a quick overnight change are guys like Signetti, who brought in guys who already knew their system. There was no learning curve for that. It's just plug them in with the good guys that are there, and also being a good coach. I'm not taking anything away from Signetti, but what's Indiana going to look like in 2, 3, 4 years when all his guys are gone and he's recruiting against the Big Ten? So he's not getting guys that have developed for 4 years under him and other programs where they are dominant in that conference, and then just transferring it over to his new spot. Like, he's going to have to recruit. He's going to have to settle for lower end recruits than what a lot of the Big Ten's getting. And he's going to have to develop them from day one to get to the level or the same amount of time he had to work with these guys that he had at James Madison, for example. So it's like Rule and them have been here for over a year for sure, but a lot of the guys are freshmen. The vast majority of the guys have been here through the Frost era. So it's like, is it just a patience issue? And everybody gets mad when you say that. We've been waiting for 20 years. Oh, that's cool. But you've been waiting for Rule for a little over a year, and you had a big jump last year. You should see a little bit of a jump this year. Hopefully you see a jump go next year. Like, these 1 year coaches, or a coach that goes somewhere for 2 years or whatever and has a quick turnaround, then their guys are gone, but they get another job before you see it fall apart, gives everybody false hope that, in 1 year you should be able to just flip everything around and all of a sudden you're a playoff team. That's not realistic, man. There's outliers and it'll happen from time to time for sure, but it's not a realistic expectation to have.
Yeah, I could just easily go back to, like, let's be happy that we have 4 cracks at a bowl game here. And this should be the game that we get it. I think people are just going to be super hecka frustrated if it ain't, because then the fear sets in. Then you're like, wait a tick. If Gary, the world-renowned, famous Gary from Big Red Rant, told me in a preview that UCLA is the best shot we have, what does that mean going forward if this is what we look like against thems? If we don't get a bowl game, Gary, that's going to be a failure. This season will be a failure.
100%.
Then what?
So then what do you, that's what I was going to ask you.
I'm going to just have to ask you because I don't know.
So from Matt Rule's standpoint, as a fan or as the AD, do you go, there is absolutely no leeway for regression at any point in any way? If you're not going to get 5 to 8 years, whatever his contract is, to gradually go up. So that might be a jump up and then a little dip down, a little bit up, a little bit down. It has to steadily be an uphill trend or you're gone. Or is that what fans' expectations are? Or do you go, well, there was a decent turnaround just in wins and losses from the previous regime to his first year. Looked good, but fairly similar the second year. Not much progression, maybe slight regression, but you have a true freshman quarterback. Your best receiver is a true freshman. Blah blah blah. Some people say it's mistake or excuses. Some people will be like, that's valid. Most quarterbacks at least get a red shirt, if not a red shirt and a developmental year before they're handed the reins. But that's what I'm asking you. Like, what would you think? What would your personal opinion or thoughts of it be?
Devastation. Depression. Not real depression, but like sports depression. I think the noise gets extremely loud for Rule's head.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you have to give him
one more year. But I'm asking you what you would say. You got to be patient.
You have to be patient.
Guys a little bit. Get another recruiting class or two, or would you be like, nah,
I would say what I want is 2 more years of him and that, like you're saying, but since everyone would be not everyone, but since so many people would be ready for him now, I would say, okay, I can meet you halfway, and let's give it 1 more solid year before we have that conversation. Because I'm fair like that. I'm a man of the peeps. What do you guys think in the chat? What happens if we fail to make a bowl? What do you do? Also, Galactus says the world needs to get rid of Sat or risk his own job.
Everybody agrees with that.
Right. So that's also another thing. Like if we don't make a bowl game, but Sat gets fired, I think everybody is feeling a little bit better going into next season. Like, okay, we're going to have a different offense at least. That could prove to not be better, but maybe we can lure Whipple out and we can do our offense where you pass to the same guy over the top every play. I don't know.
Checks out.
Ooh, NCAA playoff said I'd give them 8 full years.
Who said that?
NCAA playoff. Could be sarcasm. Could be little boy.
Nail that down later.
We'll nail that down later. So, and then NCAA brings up another really good point that is very sticky situation. One thing I was correct on early in the channel, we did a video and talked about, my read of the situation was that when Rule came in and every single coach got fired except one, Donovan Raiola, I literally looked through that shit and said, the only reason he's here is the outside chance you get Dylan. They want to have his family intact here. They don't want to have just let his dad go. This is a play. This is a long play. And I didn't think it would work. I thought it was the play that was being made. And I think it was right. However, relax with your mic before I slap you around. He came from my Chicago Bears. He was a assistant offensive line coach for the worst offensive line in the history of offensive lines. So I said, that's weird. I don't expect him to be that good for us. Hasn't been.
Who hasn't?
Donovan. And don't you dare defend him. I hate you. You're the guy sitting here telling us about how we can't run anywhere but up the gut, and after one try, it gets figured out. So why do you?
Why can't we run? Why can't we run outside, and why can't we run inside?
This is what losing does, man. It breaks down your will to live.
No, I'm good with it. I'm just saying, like,
I'm talking me.
Question. I don't think there's any question the offensive line has improved. It could take a huge drop next year, or it could step up if these guys that have been redshirted and were new, that we kind of mentioned last week, are actually developing and can step in and do something. But you have no edge blocking. Your wide receivers can't block. Now, maybe the receivers need to go try to get some work in with the offensive line coach and learn a little bit, like whether it's technique or something, but that's not typically how it is. You're working with your receivers coach, and I don't know how much effort's being put into run blocking, but that's why you can't run outside. That's why a lot of those screens that should be able to explode on the edges with guys like Lloyd and Barney don't work, is because nobody's blocking. You saw that play, that little flare out to Fedoni. As soon as he turns the corner, there's 3 guys coming down at him where it should have been 1. because I think it was Bonner and Lloyd completely whiffed. Not one of them blocked. He didn't even have one side he could go to because there was a block being had. So that's not offensive line. All of your bigger plays are run plays are through one of the gaps, ABC gap, whatever, or like a counter, and that's your offensive line blocking. Like outside of extra guys coming, Raiola typically has time to stand in the pocket and throw. That's when he actually looks comfortable and makes some decent reads. But when the offensive line's outnumbered, he panics, which understandably so. You know, I mean, things are changing, things are coming in your face, but it's like, said things come in your face. And then that's not an offensive line 100% issue. Like there's ways of blocking and trying to fill gaps so that there aren't lanes for the blitzers to come through. But that's drastically different than guys can't block. Being outmanned, having more guys coming through is different than we can't block.
Teach me this then, okay? I'm a roast. Baste me. I understand that offensive lines are and offensive linemen take time to develop. This isn't a position that you come in and have success young, usually, no matter how great you are.
You did.
I did, but not everybody's going to be able to do that.
That's a good point.
Are these offensive linemen young and inexperienced, or are they upperclassmen?
Most of them are upperclassmen.
Okay.
And experienced.
How long has Donovan Raiola been with them?
I don't know. Has it been 3 years or 4?
He's been here since Frost.
Not the whole time Frost was here, though, was he?
I don't know.
It was after that.
After
sweep when he had to get Whipple.
Yeah,
when they basically told him hire a new staff or you're gone.
Mm-hmm. Why have they not improved at all, or have they improved?
They have.
Why can't we run the ball?
Because we can't run outside. We're one-dimensional. We have no quarterback run game, which drastically
Why can't
changes.
we run up the gut more than twice before it gets stuffed?
Because they know when we're running, that's the only way we have a chance of running.
See, that's where you lose me. That's where you lose me, because that's where the simple-minded fans like me, the simple jacks, that's when we think you're an offensive line, they're a defensive line, you're supposed to win your matchups. Why are we expecting wide receivers to win their blocking matchups, but we don't expect offensive linemen? No, I'm talking about running up the gut once or twice.
Because they stack the box in the middle. How are 5 offensive linemen supposed to block 7 guys?
We should throw screens.
What's a screen do? Gets a guy typically out on the edge. What do you need once your guy on the edge has the ball? Perimeter blocking. We have none. They don't need to disperse the box and worry about things on the edge, because the guys that are supposed to be blocked by the receivers and half the time the tight ends are going to win that battle 95% of the time. So all the linebackers can sit and wait on the A and B gaps for that run to happen, and they outman the offensive line. There's nothing you can do. At best, you get to the line of scrimmage and fall forward a yard if you have some momentum. They don't need to add any pieces to try and stop the run on the outside, because they know our perimeter guys cannot block. And when you know that the quarterback isn't going to take off and run, or you're not going to have any preset or design quarterback run plays, now you really can just sit on the handoff up the middle run game and let everybody else worry about coverage. So even if some of these guys are better route runners than we're led to believe by watching them, we wouldn't know, because everybody can just sit back and worry about the pass game or the run up the middle. You're making yourself 1 or 2 dimensional on offense, where most other teams have RPOs because their quarterback will run. They have perimeter games. They have things they can run out of jet sweep. They have bubble screens and jailbreak type screens, wide receiver screens, things like that are available. So now defenses are like us. When we play offenses, we constantly have to figure out what to anticipate and worry about. Okay, we can set up to stop this, but then they can do this on us. It's rare that we play a team that it's like they can't do this, so all we have to worry about is this, or they can't do these two things, so we'll just focus on this. Every defense we play, no matter how good or bad they are, they know, okay, the run success from them is going to come up the middle, and other than that, just stop the pass game. Just defend the pass best you can. Hopefully you get pressure on Raiola because that drastically changes the player he is. Everything outside, man-to-man, we're going to win. Whether it's short passes outside, whether it's run outside, whatever it is, that's gone.
So this isn't like even an argument. This is just a side question.
Yeah.
Back when we used to run the triple option, you knew we were going to run the triple option every stinking play, and you couldn't stop it. And there are some teams, I think it's less common nowadays, but there are some teams that can just line up against you and cram it down your cram hole. So what's stopping us from being that team that's like, you know we're going to run it up the gut. We know we're going to run it up the gut, but you're not going to be able to stop it. Is that ever possible again?
If you start recruiting a bunch of 5-stars. You're talking about a dynasty team, an offensive line that was the core of a dynasty, and you're comparing that to a team that hasn't been, or an offensive line / team hasn't been to a bowl game in 6 years.
Remember when Wisconsin blew our backs out like really bad, like 70 to something?
I'll blow your. I mean,
I don't think that was a dynasty Wisconsin team.
No, because they didn't win any titles.
Right.
They didn't win a title, let alone.
But they were still able to do that. Like basically almost every Brett Bielema team is able, they're not dynasties, but they're able to line up and run it down your cram hole.
And what does that get them?
Wins against us.
Okay.
Wins in the Big Ten. Bowl games. Improvement.
Okay.
I just feel like I feel like what you need to understand as far as like what I'm trying to convey is just that that's what I think the foundation of football is. Being able to push the ball forward with the run game. If you can't do that, your success will always be limited, i.e. Colorado. Even though Colorado's doing a lot better. I'm not trying to throw shade or anything like that. But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's after having, building your offensive line, I feel like being able to run the ball and stop the run. I don't know. Maybe I'm an old cuck. And maybe it's all about passing and perimeter runs now. That could be the case. You know? Shyman said Wisconsin and Iowa have pretty much had their way. Yeah, it's like I would settle for just being a team that can do that to people, where it's like, hey, if we want to put our heads down and run, we can just run straight through you. I don't need us to be a dynasty. I would just like to run through people again. And what I'm saying is I don't believe in Donovan Raiola. I don't think he's the answer, and I feel like I've seen him long enough that he can go too. Oh, shit, I think Gary might have got kicked. Let's see what happened here. I don't know what happened. You got kicked for a while.
You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I was trying to talk back to you and it was cut. And then all of a sudden my whole Streamlabs cut out. So I just went out and back in. But the part you're leaving out is that when we had our crazy good offensive line and when Wisconsin was doing what it was doing with lining up and running, quarterbacks were able to run. Running backs were able to get outside and run. There was blocking on the perimeter. They weren't one-dimensional. Everything's up the A or B gap. When you do that, it drastically changes how defenses prepare for you and what they can just sit on. It's like in baseball. If you got a pitcher that's a one-pitch thrower, batters are just going to sit on it. You better be absolutely elite at that one pitch.
Well, I am elite. I still throw 107.
That's your changeup.
You thought I was talking fastball?
No, sir. I know
You'd
better.
shit yourself if I told you how fast my fastball is right now.
Nobody can see it. The umps don't even. They just listen to where it hits the glove and then get the physical
They will
tracker.
get the ball first, and let's go down to Rhett Lewis.
Yeah, talk to Matt Rule coming
him.
out of the tunnel. He was happy with the way his defense responded on UCLA's last couple of drives, but said when we have a chance to make a play on the quarterback, we can't miss, which made me think of that free runner that Willis McGahee got where he allowed Garbers to get out of the pocket and move the sticks. Then offensively, he said they're seeing a ton of zero blitz. Somebody has got to go make a play one-on-one when they're in those type of situations for their quarterback, Dylan Raiola.
20 total first half plays for Nebraska. They ran 3 in the first quarter alone.
All right, let's get some screen game going, guys.
Right,
Please and thank you.
The second half.
1st and 10. Dowdle in the backfield. Play action looking. Oh! Baby zone blitz, or I don't know what that was. Touchdown, UCLA! Wow, 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 wow.
And the Halloween weekend nightmare continues for the
Satterfield.
Cornhuskers.
Threw it right to the. No, what an idiot. What an idiot, Satterfield. Get him gone.
How about that start of the half for the Bruins? Are you kidding me?
That's how quiet that crowd got, bro.
Team captain, leader, Medrano reads the eyes of the quarterback and all smiles on that Bruins sideline. Here he is, number 20, right there to the right of your screen.
So he steps up,
he
like,
drops back, sees Fedoni, reads it the whole time.
Yeah, Fedoni.
Ball's thrown right to him. Makes a play, and then how about the hurdle? Former wide receiver, track and field star coming out of Colorado in high school. Finds his way into the end zone.
No.
I'd imagine
Who's
they'll take a
77?
look to see, is he out right here, guy? White cleats, white line.
He's
Does
in.
not look like he hit the white on the field, at least with that right foot. How about that left? Nope.
Oh. Wow. You know, this is a guy, he is a track star. He's a thrower, right? It's the javelin. It's the
You want to know
discus,
what's crazy?
It's the shot put. And he told us this week,
That's what
throwing a shot
Nebraska
put.
needs to
Throwing on the
do.
field is confirmed.
Watch a whole different
Touchdown.
Husker team now.
You know, Ken Medrano
Oh,
was a
really?
shot
Oh,
put
dude, you're
at the end of
in
his high
for
school
a
career.
pleasant
So,
surprise, sir.
Deshaun
You're
Foster
saying
loved
UCLA
to
done
score
woke up the
athletes.
They
Really
done.
taught me how to use
He's
my
better off
speed
dropping
and
that
my
interception.
power
He should have just
together.
knocked that ball down.
And he timed that interception. And
Now
that
they're
deep
pissed.
perfect. A leader, a captain on this team. That scene means so much to him. We talked to him about it this week. And he starts with a huge play.
Alexander said, think I'm going to be sick. Well,
You're a pin drop right now.
Well, the energy was easily felt.
It
coming
is
out to
what it
kick off the
is, you
third
know.
quarter. And how about this? They don't bring a blitz, just a little twist up
Dude, it's
front.
only 2 touchdowns.
The
For this
hardest thing
offense,
for
that
young
ain't
quarterbacks,
shit.
guy,
Might as
we
well
No.
be Might as well be
Come
down
on,
the
man.
field goal.
but you know, we usually do make some good adjustments at half. Right?
That was the best one I've seen.
But not that. But you
I
know
like-
what I mean?
I like
That's
Raiola's
one mistake.
tackling technique.
It's almost like he looked down to the sideline to make sure he confirmed it was clear and obvious.
I mean, I
He
get
was
not
in
trying to
bounds.
square
Look
up
at
and
his
hit him.
eyes. Yeah, I'm looking down to make sure I'm
But
good.
like getting as flat to the
finds his
ground
way
as
to the end
possible
zone.
isn't really.
And that is how
Could have just trotted
you're on
off
the
the
road
field.
in
Had
front
the
of
same
this
effect.
environment. 402nd straight sellout.
Motzilla says,
That's a-
Rule
that's an
reminds me of the
impressive
chubby
start
little
to the second
rascals kid that will never shut the F up.
You know, we've talked
Are you talking about
you know,
Spanky?
the
Don't
Bruins
disrespect
played the last 3
Spanky
games.
like that.
And you go, is this team still dialed in? Can they still be locked in? They played well at home against Minnesota 4 weeks ago, lost in heartbreaking fashion. They go on the road to Rutgers, they win. And, you know, one thing, Yogi, you asked a lot of these
If it
players
goes to a
about was,
commercial right after this,
was
I'm
how
sure
they
it will. I
maintain
got
their
to-
energy and practice during the week, especially coming out of the bye. It was a big focus for them.
DRE, right? That is all Deshaun Foster, and the E is for enthusiasm. And they have remained enthusiastic. Look at the celebration
How
there
proud of the guys
on the
in never giving up do you think
coaches,
they will have
players.
been, according to rule, at the end of this game in
This is
this
a team
press
that,
conference?
amid a challenging schedule, to your point, they have really stayed
Very much.
connected.
Not one guy.
Big part of that is
Not
that man
one
with
guy
the
in
C
that
on his
locker room
chest.
gave
Now they're
up.
going to come do it again. Look,
And I'm proud of
Nebraska's been
that.
in adversity as well this season. They're not
Yeah,
gonna
we
lay
lost
down.
by
They're
40
gonna
to a two-win
put
team.
together
But that's not the point.
the most impressive
You guys are worried
drive
about
of
scores.
day.
The
I'm
point
worried
is
about developing
Satterfield's
men.
my friend, and friendship is what matters in this life.
So much talk about Ohio State last week, but let's go back 2 weeks.
Rammer
And the lessons
Johnson.
of what happened to them against Indiana. They get down and they kind of lost the ability to fight back. It wasn't that there wasn't effort, Matt Rule told us. He just thought his team stopped believing they could win. So
Yeah.
now they're tested again. How will Nebraska respond?
That's
Yeah,
what
well, look, it's
Raiola
only
needed,
20-7,
man.
and there's a
He's
ton
like,
of
okay.
football left. They talked about the Indiana
All right.
game, saying, hey,
You
let's
want to
not
play
be victims.
rough?
Let's not feel sorry
Okay.
for ourselves. So I'd imagine they're pulling on that
Dylan
experience.
Raiola
Second
out.
and 6.
Mini
snap, let's
Mahomes
run the
is
ball
in.
again.
Johnson, a big
Premier with a nice run.
And that's the first down.
That's because of the
And this is where they've had
handoff.
Success, these quick hitting runs.
He wouldn't be able to do that
Just
without
getting the ball
that nice
immediately to the
handoff.
back. See
Look at
them
that.
seal it off, double team. Jay Toya, nice job
Crisp
there on the
handoff.
inside and the offensive
Five-star
line
handoff.
from Justin Evans.
That's a Mahomes
And the
handoff.
back, Ramir Johnson does the
Mini
rest for
Mahomes.
2 runs
Okay.
in a row for success.
He might go full
What is Matt
Mahomes.
Rule so obsessed
He might
with
go full
process,
size.
right? He told us
He
had
might
so
go,
many
I
one-on-one
don't wanna see
meetings
that.
with
Family
players
size
after that Indiana
Mahomes.
game, saying just worry about your job, right?
He's got 47 yards, man, in
As
3
his team heard
quarters.
this message, they're gonna
To
go
try to
back
relax.
the ground, and a strong
Ooh, nice
first
run.
down on first
I
down.
love it.
Let's go down to
Is this
Brings
what
a
you
tear
wanted?
to, well, brings a
Is
tear to
Donovan
my eye.
Raiola doing a good enough job?
Brings a
with
tear to me eye.
back up the middle runs.
This ain't on Donovan. This is about your boy, Sad.
Oh, okay.
The guy you'll die for.
Their best path
Gotcha.
forward might
Okay.
be through the run, through the air, right? Passing the ball down the field, but maybe with some of the looks that UCLA has been sending, some of that zero blitz, they're finding a way to kind of settle things down on the ground here with both
Yeah, that's a
Premier
good point. I
Johnson
forgot
and
about that.
Dante
There's a
Dowdell,
shitload
who
of
remains
recruits
in
in this
there
game.
next to Raiola.
Just itching to sign on the dotted line.
They'll give it to Dowdell.
There we go, Dowdle.
He's got the first down.
Yeah, right. You're on it. I mean,
Maybe I should go
adjustments are a huge
piss in the
part of
middle
halftime,
again. Last
especially
Yeah,
time
go.
we got
with
that
the
fourth down
iPads.
conversion.
And for this Nebraska
That led to
offense
a
against
touchdown.
Deshaun Foster's group, it's these downhill runs. They had success
said
in the first
relax.
half doing that.
Might
They
as
just
well
didn't have the
relax.
ball a lot. And to your point, when they dropped back, there was nothing doing. There were people in the lap of Dylan Raiola.
I'm with you, Romp.
I would imagine they
I'm
keep
with
coming
you,
back
Romp.
to the run, and then it's going to be these quick passes
Little
where they
play
get
action
the
into a nice
receivers out
screen.
the back door, like 17, Ja'Cory Barney. He's back in on the field now.
Picture it.
Four straight
49-yard
run
house
plays
ball.
after the pick six, make it 5 in a row. Back to
I like
Dowdell.
that, man.
And he's able to get a couple of yards here. It looks like maybe there was nothing.
I really thought they were going to do the jet touch pass.
Feels like every other couple of
You
plays
thought I was
here,
joking.
there's been
This
some
is
of
what
that
this offense
competitive
needed. They're about to
chippiness
run them
that we talked
ragged.
about
That
with
defense
Deshaun
would be
Foster. Actually starting before the game, too, by the way.
Nebraska
Some
wins.
jawing back and forth at midfield with
35-20.
both coaching staffs. I think both teams realize like what this opportunity can mean and really kind of bringing out the fire and the passion in all of them.
Well, you're right. I mean, this is so big for Nebraska. They're sitting
Yeah,
on
I hear you,
5 wins,
Galactus.
5-3. They were 5-3
Let's
last
do a
year.
fake
Looked like
handoff
they were
in
gonna
the
break
house.
the
Simple
goal
Jack in
record
the
Raiola
house.
and finish the season with nothing but losses. Here they are 5-3 for the 3rd week in
All right,
a row.
that's cool. We'll take it green. That's cool.
Emmett Johnson brought down by Carson Schlesinger.
Third down.
I kind of thought Raiola
Feels
was
like a
going to
pipe
hold
dream when
on to
you say,
that.
"We'll just win 4 or
I'd
5
like to
and
see
you go
it.
to a bowl for UCLA, but they are thinking that, right? That's what Kane Medrano told us. He said the message internally has been, let's get it done this week and then next week, and then maybe December will be what we want it to be.
I think ever since
Speed-
that Indiana
the speed
game early in the
sievers in
season,
there
both of
now.
these teams challenging efforts in those games.
Time
They
for
played
a nice little
They bounced back since then.
bubble
They've had
screen.
opportunities. They just haven't
Remember
played
when
a
Nair
complete
used to catch the
game.
ball
Even
early in the
the
season?
win 2 weeks
That
ago
was
against
wild.
Rutgers,
That
they
was
had
a
issues
fucking
towards the end of
crazy
that
time,
penalty
brother.
box.
Remember when
Third
passes
down.
used to hit guys in the hands
Raiola,
earlier in the season?
pressure.
Good escape here. Good escape. It's short, but
Got to
You
go
know,
for it.
Jamal
Yeah.
Got no
Banks
choice.
with 4th down.
Yeah, so what UCLA had success in the
Let's
first
crank a
half, they did on that
65-yard
third
field
down
goal,
as
bro.
well. And
I think we
I'm
can hit it.
curious here if Matt Rule says, hey, let's go for it here. Is it 4-down territory? And I think they are going to go for it. It's they're giving
Damn, we
Dylan
only got
Raiola
2
one
yards
look
there.
pre-snap.
That's crazy.
And then as he's in his cadence, they're giving him another one. And then as the snap happens, they're deploying to a different place. So there's like
I got a crazy idea, and you're going to hate it. Let's have a guy on a quick screen so that when they try to blitz here, you can throw right where that guy comes from.
Johnson is the back on 4th down and 3. Low snap, but Raiola was able to handle it.
That's good. That's good protection, bro. Oh, man.
And Nebraska, a drive that started with so much
really good protection there. And we'll see how where the pass was. We'll see if the pass was off or what.
The ball's got to be out right there, guy. He's got a shot, whether it's to his back, to his left, or Fedoni to his right, and he doesn't, and there's been nothing doing.
Yeah, he threw that shit behind.
Deshaun Falk loves it. His team responds.
He threw it behind Lloyd. Bad pass. Romp says, please ask Gary about that chair selection. Well, that's his mob boss chair. That's where he puts hits out from, and that's the chair that he makes offers you can't refuse in. Mozilla said that's a gopher's chair, basically. That's where he plans his gopher hunts. Scheinman says, good news is that we haven't seen UCLA's offense yet. Brandon Riggle says, F this team. I mean, that is the prevailing sentiment. There is something wrong. We think we know what it is. But, you know. I'm still holding out hope. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but I am still holding out hope that we win this game. Honestly, like, I think momentum is a very real thing. UCLA has had it, but you saw when they did that. I better get this out before he comes back because he's not going to like this optimism. But I think you saw that on that penalty where they gave us a free first down and boom, we scored. I just think we need something to light a spark. An interception, a fumble recovery. Maybe the defense is able to score for you. And then the belief is back at 100% that you're going to, that you can win this game. And then doubt starts to creep into UCLA a little bit and the pressure gets put on them. That's what I'm hoping for. That's how you win this game. And there's so much time. You got the entire second half. How many times have we been up something like 20-7 and still gave the game away? I don't think it's over. I'll be very honest the moment it becomes over. Jade Luther says the only good drive they had was because of a penalty. Yeah, it gave them a first down, but they still had to move it a little bit more than half the fields, and they haven't been able to do that since. But you get that jolt and things start going right for you. You only need to strike on one big play, like that throw that they hit Barney with.
Sponsored by Abbott. The winning school will be announced at the Big Ten Championship.
Not saying it's likely, guys. Garbers. A little bit of pressure, a lot of bit of pressure, and Robinson gets him down.
We weren't in that locker room at halftime, but I would imagine Ty Robinson had a few things to say. Just dominant effort, right through the offense.
Yeah, it's true living in Omaha. I know. But they are a 2-win team. It's not like they're world beaters either.
And for Garbers, again, first half of the season, hold on to the ball. When he's been at his best, he's getting rid of the rock. He had a chance to get rid of the ball. You've got to
good old string cheese gopher chair Gary.
Gopher milk cheese.
Gopher string cheese. I love it.
DJ Harden on the toss.
Good hit. Can we get him down?
Don't wrap up. Just hit him.
He's got a first down. How did he escape?
Really nice job, Ethan Garbers.
They were probably coached that, right? That's not their fault for not wrapping up. Their coaches didn't teach them to wrap up.
There comes Matavao, and how
I didn't see Tony White wrap anyone up. Bitch.
Gifford. I mean, these are vets on this black shirt defense. Continues on.
Stop calling them black shirts. It's sarcastic when that shit like that. Bro, Bullock got ran through.
Bullock, since he had that,
he was off balance.
Has not been good.
It feels like you look up and UCLA's 2nd and 15, 3rd and 9, and somehow they've been able to sustain drives despite.
All right, it's at the 50-yard line. We're gonna go.
Deshaun Foster needs to use
timeout. UCLA.
He's frustrated there.
3rd and 1 coming up here with 8:43 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Like, I'm so selfish. I just wish that they could interview Matt Rule right now. I just want to hear him talk. I just want to know what he's thinking.
It's going to be the same shit. I have to be better. That's on me. Those guys, I'm so proud of those guys in that locker room.
He's not going to say that.
When has he said anything different?
But bitch. I feel like it's been genuine. It wouldn't be genuine right now.
It hasn't been genuine a third of the time he said it.
Okay, it wasn't
that
genuine
drubbing
during
in Indiana. Get the F words out of here, sir.
Mm.
Doesn't matter. They're still going to win.
Oh, baby. That's what I like to hear.
Just trying to make it interesting.
Of course. You know? Dude. We have 1 week where we don't embarrass ourselves in front of our friends.
No, sure.
Now, this is your girl, right? Kim OGG? Oh, that's here in Austin. Never mind.
Why don't you get your shit together?
My bad. You know? Brady said Georgia's losing to Florida at halftime. See, we might get into the playoff if that happens.
Wow.
Jared says it's painful as hell to be a Husker fan week in, week out. Same shit. It really is, man. Oh, it is tough.
Not charged a timeout. There was a review to see if TJ Harden got the first down. This was ruled initially 3rd and 1, but upon
review,
what are they
looking at?
It's a first
Where
down.
he went out?
Just seeing if it's a first down. That's definitely a first down.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Of stopping.
It's not like that was 3rd or 4th down.
Play.
Right.
Evaluating.
But they wanted to get some commercials in.
Yeah.
UCLA.
All right.
Now, first down is
just hasn't been many.
Can you be kind to the commercials? They need to make money too.
Very many yards.
I suffered through these games for the commercials.
To start this initial drive of the second half here for this offense. This defensive front's doing a nice job offensively or defensively on early downs. It's just those long runs and especially 3rd down conversions where the Bruins have had success.
Under center, handoff, nope. Play act, deep throw, wide open. He's going to scoot back into the end zone. And remember, folks, I told you I'd tell you when it was done. I'd be honest. Put a fork in him.
Could have stuck that fork in the first half.
Ethan Garbers is playing the best football of his
This is like the Indiana game. Remember the first drive? And I was like, it's a wrap. And you're like, oh, it's a first drive. It's the way it goes. Like when you watch the things you're supposed to be good at, the things you should be able to exploit, when they come out and do what they're not supposed to be able to do against you, and take away what you're supposed to be good at. It's like, okay, there's not really an adjustment for that. You can't all of a sudden be good at shit you're bad at.
20-point lead for UCLA.
Well, I already know what the post-game video is going to be about, so I'm going to start making the thumbnail, if you don't mind.
If you don't mind.
Get that out of the way. I need to find a very grim picture of...
Remember when I said the DBs can't cover, man?
Yeah.
And I'm going to the end zone. And the freshman on the road says,
I thought you were just a bigot when you said that.
I can do this too. And Garber's saying, finally, it might be coming again.
Dude, at this point, it's actually funny. It's getting to the point that it's funny. Am I wrong? Am I reading the room wrong? Is anyone laughing? This, like, it's so bad I can laugh at us. You know? This is funny shit, man. Like... Man, Attack Ferret said this is worse than Scott Frost. What do you think, man? On that specifically. Oh?
Scott Frost era, dude. I mean, after a minute, it was like I didn't expect us to win any games. I was just surprised if and when we did.
Mm-hmm.
But again, my point with players and coaches as far as like accountability and things like that go, Tony White is scheming this defense to do that. There aren't like legit pros on this team. And he has one of the higher ranked defenses last year. Definitely flashes and things like that this year. Like, let these guys start getting some legit talent and developing them their way to their systems. Which is also why I think, like what we were talking about last week, Satterfield needs to go. Like, he's not scheming guys to be better than, like, that's your great coaches, right? You take guys that aren't very good and you make them look like they're really good. Then you get guys who are really good, and now you look like you can compete for titles and playoffs and things like that. And it's like, he's not that dude. We don't have those players yet. If we have them, they're not developed to be into that. These guys that have been here for 6-7 years or whatever, they're just not. I mean, there's a reason they haven't left and gone pro yet, or transferred to a better team where they can showcase their deal. It's like,
a different offensive line.
I'm grateful for them. I'm glad that they didn't just bail some of them, you know. But it's like,
let's go back to the touchdown, Yogi.
It's not the talent level that's going to get you.
And he sees as he turns his eyes back to the defense that it's man-to-man coverage, and Gilmer's got it.
So, like, we can keep cycling through coaches and coordinators and everything else, but until the players start getting better, it's like
touchdown for the freshman.
Well, you know, Yogi and I have an affinity for the route technique of receivers.
Hold on.
Our backgrounds, and I'm telling you, I was down.
And the only way to do that is through recruiting and developing, but that's slow, and nobody is interested in the slow approach because we've been waiting so long. Raiola over the middle, grabs a few yards, maybe 5.
Well, Guy, Indiana has scored 30 unanswered points after Michigan State got out to that 10-0 lead. Curtis Worker's third touchdown pass of the game. This one to Miles Price, 30-10 Hoosiers.
Almost a first down for Barney. Going to be a 3rd and 2, maybe 3rd and 1.
Very well. Of course, they had the big game 2 weeks ago against Nebraska, in which Curtis Rourke was injured. Now he comes back. Some people in the booth had them on upset alert. Could Michigan State pull it out? And Indiana's looking pretty good.
Yeah, they look like a championship contending team. They do. They deserve all that.
Raiola hands it off. We're going to get a nice hurdle. Ooh. Almost a second hurdle from Dowdle.
He had Elijah Judy, the defensive lineman, lead blocking for him.
Yeah, how about this leap? Like he's in
I think it's his second catch. Does that sting? Yeah, I know he for sure had at least one other one. Because I was talking about it was a little flare off the edge, and
he's just being physical, running with
Lloyd and Bonner were turning around, watching him, letting their guys go scot-free to
stay
tackle
focused. Again, you pull back on that Indiana game 2 weeks ago when it seemed to get out of hand early on. This one might feel that way. I'd imagine that sideline trying to be a little veteran-esque.
Judy remains
by Devin Apue. That run did not go for nothing, and there's going to be extracurriculars.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense.
Thank
Number 10.
God.
It's his first of the game. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
That's the second for UCLA today.
Here's Ali Cajo right here in the middle, number 10. I mean, what are you doing? You just can't do it. You just cannot do it. And when the three pillars in Deshaun Foster's program, the first one starts with discipline, like you're just impacting yourself. This Bruin team is not good enough, in my opinion, to overcome mistake after mistake after mistake if they're self-inflicted. Second one of the game extends a drive. See if Nebraska can capitalize again.
Attack Ferret. They use him as a fullback. They did it at the goal line last week. I think that's what they were doing that last play on the short.
Raiola drops back. He's got time. Throws it somewhat deep.
Open.
What a grab from Barney, brudda. What a grab.
Deja vu, anybody? I mean, again, freshman to freshman after a penalty against UCLA. The throw is phenomenal. He throws it to the left of Barney so he can go away from where the defense is, rotates with the ball for a first down.
26-yard pickup.
Play action, hit it over to the edge, and we get 3 from Fedoni.
Let's look back at the previous play.
How about this throw? Again, when you're throwing the ball down the field as a quarterback, it's on you to know the leverage of the defender and where to place the ball. Beautifully placed. So Barney's got to turn, open up his hip, an easy catch for the dynamic athlete that he is. But the awareness of the throw from Raiola is so impressive.
Raiola, nice throw to Banks. Sorry, Nair. Nair. That's big, man. It's like something about getting penalties, getting personal
15-yarders.
Yeah, something about that just wakes us up.
I'd be like, all right, guys, go out there and just talk shit until somebody hits you.
It just is crazy that we had to give up 2 touchdowns before that happened, dude. It's like, well, a little too late, man.
But keep your eye on the feet right here. Where's that right foot? Does the right foot touch first? From up here, I thought it did, but does it touch in? I think so. Called a touchdown.
He had 2 feet in.
All scoring plays, of course, reviewed. That play's been cleared. And Nebraska's not going away yet. And the skies are getting darker and the wind's picking up here in Lincoln.
Isaiah Nair, the 6th-year vet. Look at those eyes of his. That right foot down in bounds. Nebraska not
Brady,
playing
that's
victim.
just it.
No. We've done that before.
What did he say?
He said enough time for y'all if you can play some defense. We can only defend the pass if we give 10-yard cushions. We cannot man up or play tight zones and cut windows short. About half the time we get a good initial contact on a run play. No one wraps up, so it springs into at least a first down, if not more. And we need about 10 offensive possessions to get 1 touchdown. So we're going to need 9 or 10 times having the ball back before we can pull within 1 touchdown. So ain't looking too good, my guy.
Yeah, this was the type of spark I was looking for, but it's too late because they shat down their leg to start the
It's not too late, but you need both sides of the ball to
I mean, yeah,
really have that spark, and it's just not happening. When the defense does, it seems like when we score, the defense slacks off and goes to shit for two or 3 possessions. When the defense has a decent drive, the offense comes out and goes 3 and out. So it's like, I don't know, man.
I'm learning a lot. Okay.
Not as much as you're going to learn.
Wow. I think I found a pretty good picture of Rule.
Is he licking his lips?
No. Unfortunately not. I'm so checked out of this game, man.
You're going to miss the greatest comeback.
Oh, yeah?
The greatest comeback in at least the last 4 weeks.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Is that why we gave up those 2 quick tuds?
Mm-hmm.
Well.
How about the hands of Isaiah
Down
Nair
there.
on the release? Put that on your clinic tape, man. That was beautiful. Halloween is continuing. A fan of Dylan Raiola saying nice throw to QB1. And Nebraska, give him credit. Adversity hit guy. They didn't lay down. They drove right down the field, took advantage of a self-inflicted negative play, found their way to the end zone.
I mean, Dylan Raiola threw a pick 6 on the first play of the second half and has responded. Keegan Jones.
You know what the bad news for UCLA is?
UCLA, he'll go down.
What's that?
They haven't even played the Thunderstruck song yet between quarters. That's when you know they're going to be in trouble.
They had an unsportsmanlike penalty in the first half that instead of a 4th down and punt situation, Nebraska got a first down.
I don't know if we should even be allowed to do that.
This one,
the way we're
it was
playing.
going to be 2nd and 9, but UCLA, dead ball, a shove in the back of a Cornhusker, gives them 15, helps keep the drive moving, and Nebraska capitalizes. So now can the defense answer? The temperature drop.
They're going to hand it off. Up gut for 9.
They only got 9. They didn't get a first down.
Yeah. Pretty good.
We still got
here
3
on
chances to
UCLA's
stop.
sideline, after you guys just laid out the 2 touchdowns for Nebraska coming off the unsportsmanlike penalties on UCLA. Well, Deshaun Foster just grabbed the entire defense together down here on their sideline and very sternly let them know what was at stake here.
Don't worry, we're headstrong to take on anyone.
That we've covered of the Bruins this year, guys, that was the most passionate.
Rudolph Watson wants to know how many of you guys even played football or any sport.
Good eye, Rhett. Here's Berger, first down. The
Quick first down.
Black shirt defense get a stop.
Unbiased boxing, talking about UCLA. They don't get beat, so they're going to run.
Early
Are you saying that's why Nebraska was running?
Something they did not have in the first half. Average about 2 yards per carry on first
Shyman
down.
99 is an athletic supporter,
plays running the
in case you were wondering.
Eric Bieniemy, we all know his NFL background, right? Always managing the game, this time and
Run the
score.
goddamn ball now.
What
I mean,
is the environment dictating? I'd imagine
that last
they'll
drive,
continue to keep it
the passing game is what got
in the
him.
hands of that
The
man.
deep one to Barney and then the touchdown.
Oh my
to
God, we got
That's
a
good defense.
We got an incompletion, folks.
A lot
Xavier
of
Staples, the wide
deep
receiver.
string
Now,
guys
later
there.
tonight, the Bruins square off with 10th-ranked Oregon.
Alexander the
Saturday
Great
Night Volleyball
and
Showdown.
Terrible
Coverage
played
begins
college.
at 11 Eastern
Highlander Gunn
Pacific,
played high
only
school.
on the Big Ten
Tiger
Network
Shark,
and the
he
Fox
played
Sports
the
app.
foosball. Second and 10.
Second down and 10.
With 4 minutes in the third, I feel like this game's been on for 4 hours.
Fake toss.
There's the tight end.
Booted out to the other side, and that was all the trickeration it took.
Who was that? Both of them bit so hard that nobody stayed over the top.
Guy. This is an impressive job. See the
Like when a guy rolls out,
everybody's eyes go
you
there. In
think,
fact,
no,
this
don't need to
linebacker
worry
gonna
about
move
him.
There as the snap begins. Fake the toss. Come right out the back door to Mataval. Move the sticks.
Was that Princeville?
Really nice job trying to manipulate the aggression
too far away.
of Tony White's 3-3-5 defense. And after going to Xavier Staples, they go to a veteran in the
no
tight
discipline.
end and Mataval for a first down.
Nobody's wrapping up. Even when they are getting tackled, they're just diving at legs. Nice 7-yard cushion to start with.
And Berger just didn't get
Nobody plays underneath, and luckily he
Incomplete.
throws it a yard behind
J.
him.
Michael Sturdivant took a big hit in the first half of this game. Now we're seeing Xavier Staples. He made the catch. He was able to walk
Simple
off.
Jack would have won state if the coach would have played him. He can throw a pigskin mile and a half.
Then he would have found love of his life, probably be in a hot tub with her.
Yep.
Just
He's been a
imagine
guy
it,
that's been able
you
to
know.
really change and take the top off of the defense. I'd imagine Nebraska just mans up against this receiving core right now.
TJ
Run
Harberg.
right.
And that's about
Grabbing
a
some
yard.
whiffs. We get about a yard.
Again, you go back
I'll
to
take
the
that,
origin
bro.
of this 3-3-5 defense, and a huge part of this scheme guy is trying to force either the quarterback to hang on to the football force the offensive line to hesitate a little bit with the reads and get an extra hat, an extra body down inside the box. I'd imagine Nebraska goes right back to that here on a 3rd down and man up on the outside.
3rd and 9. 4-man front.
Play clock to 2. It's live.
Right gonna do, Jaden Wright.
Got it all.
Pretty good cushion underneath, little pressure. He
Oh my
steps
gosh.
up, avoids
Wow,
it, and
good defense,
overthrows
bro.
his guy.
And it's a really nice job of the man we talked about to start this game. Not only Ty Robinson, but 33 Javen Wright. There's the pressure inside. This is a veteran-laden group. Williams from the outside, Robinson from the inside. Garbers has a chance to make the throw. We know that he missed it. And Javen Wright was all over the route.
They're going for it?
And we are in 4 down.
That's insane. Are you serious?
No, I don't know. I'm just asking. No, they're not. Yeah, they are. No, they're not now. They left their offense out there. Now they're...
I'd imagine they'll just take the penalty.
If Nebraska scores before the 4th quarter, or whatever, this next drive, do you think, does your fire get rekindled?
Yeah, I stupidly will get my hopes up.
Yeah. Remains 4th down.
That's a smart decision from Deshaun Foster and company. Not worth burning one of your timeouts.
Well,
again, this is a long game. We got a lot of ball left to play. Now you start playing the wind, the field position.
What if we get a block here?
Don't get cute.
What if we get a kick return? What if Castaneda finally gets to return
push it? Don't
and
push it.
High steps from the 50 the rest of the way down.
The only thing you can't predict is there will be wind. Richter.
Oh my gosh, it almost got blocked.
Now here comes the return.
Spinning, but it takes a big UCLA bounce.
Get in the end zone.
Thank God.
Gilmer could
Bro.
And so Nebraska will have it.
That was it.
Out of the 20-yard line. Football on the Big Ten Network is brought
Good
to you
punt.
by the Progressive
Return by
Progress Program.
Ed Foley.
Veterans and small
Or good decision. Sorry, the punt return by Ed
Spent a
Foley
lot
to
of
let
time
that
the
go
last
in the
couple of
end zone.
days.
Yeah, no,
out
I
in the Haymarket
don't
District.
know how I'm
where
yawning.
these
This exciting
pictures are
game
from.
with next to no commercials.
And had a great
It's just
time.
been pretty rapid fire.
Sure did. Love coming here.
It honestly feels like it's like 10
Second
o'clock
game
at night. I
of
feel like
the
we've been
season,
sitting here for
this logo, what this fan base stands for, what this
20-11
program stands
hours
for, and
watching
now
this game.
what's in front of them. We all know what's at stake. Bowl berth again for Nebraska in November.
For the 3rd week in a row, for the 2nd year in a row.
Tight ends.
Pass.
Stepping
Run.
up.
Just go.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Be decisive, my guy.
Yeah, and that's the first
Scott
time
Frost's
this
team would come back
season they bring a
28-27 and
It's a
then
big
lose
part of
on
them
last
coming
second
into this game
field goal.
thinking they could bring pressure from the outside.
Bruce
I think
Davis,
UCLA,
it
I'm coming
is
back, he's gotta bring
5:05
pressure
for both of us.
from that
Scott
linebacker
Frost.
level. Moving that
Scott Frost never
defensive
did that in his
front
entire
around.
career.
You do not
I
see
said Scott
Benny
Frost.
I said
Oladejo in
Frost.
the ball game right now.
He's standing over on the sideline watching.
Oh, he's at a golf swing.
Kane Medrano, who had the pick 6 to start the half, is off the field as well. It'll be Emmett Johnson.
Come on, Emmett.
He's able to turn
Come on,
the
Emmett.
corner.
That's okay. That's okay.
Sworn Ramon Henderson.
Lloyd was trying.
There. It
He was
looked like
pushing.
Johnson was
He was
about
like,
to sprint to the sideline. Cut it up and got brought down. Now it's 3rd and a yard.
Don't do Lloyd like that.
I'm giving him credit. He was out there laying fools
It's
out.
been so fun to watch the XO side of this ball
Lloyd's
game, guy. You
reputation
watch
is not for
different personnel
play.
grouping in with that big defensive lineman / fullback Elijah Judy. UCLA tries to match that personnel.
Couple
A
of
tight
tight
set,
ends
little
in the
power
game
run
in
game.
short yardage. And Dowdell
Okay,
will get
first
the
down.
Can't bring him down by the ankles.
I'd keep feeding him in the downhill run game. And he's been so impressive. Very rarely tackled by the first defender. I think those quick hitting runs are the ones that have had the most success against this Bruin defensive
Don't
front.
owe
Good
me.
camera work.
And then I keep working some of the
shut your
play action
little-
game, you know, run it outside the back door, but right now, based on the
It
alignment,
might get loud here in a minute.
I could see a run right here.
Play But Raiola gets it off.
Oh, deep shot!
Good throw.
Wow.
He got his foot down.
Wow.
Now, do you want to apologize to Nair for all the shit you were talking earlier? He got you a touchdown and a deep first down to end.
I was talking about the fact that we don't
You were
go to
shitting
him.
down his throat.
Careful how much of that you quote.
I know.
He's got the right foot down.
Wow.
And he's got this crowd.
Wow.
What a dude. Carter Nelson was in on that play. Did you see that? Carter Nelson sighting. Don't worry. We won't be touching the ball.
Yeah, don't worry. We're not going to get him involved.
He's our best decoy.
Okay. Why we wouldn't do something like that?
Oh, it's going to stand, Attack Ferret. It's going to stand. Dude, some of these names are phenomenal.
I like Attack Ferret.
I love Attack Ferret. I like Evil Sipple. I like all
Sip's
of them.
good. You know.
There was one earlier. Simple Jack's, of course, going to always be happy with me, making me happy. But there was one earlier I was laughing about to myself. Nair has had 2 amazing catches, one last week and another today. For sure, but also, like, that just shows you what Raiola's capable of. We've seen him miss wide open guys for touchdowns twice last week, other games, the end of the Illinois game. And then you see him throwing dimes like that where it's like his guy's going to get it or nobody's going to get it. And, like, that's what I'm getting at with, like, him and Barney are, like, going to be your long-term explosive guys for your offense. And you're throwing them into the wolves essentially as true freshmen and then expecting them to already look like what their peak's going to be. Like, it's just going to take a while to develop them. It sucks waiting. You hope that other guys don't leave or fall off in the time being, but it's just, that's the reality, man. We didn't bring in a guy to flip it in a year or two. We brought in a guy to rebuild it from the ground up. And now we have to wait, even though we've been waiting through these other coaches. But along the way, we need to get a new offensive coordinator.
Ain't that the truth?
I agree, Rudolph.
And I have not had Jimmy John's in a minute.
I haven't had anything fast food in a
You
long
consider
time.
Jimmy John's fast food?
Anything I don't make at home, I consider fast food.
Really?
Unless it's like a fancy restaurant where it's supposedly better food, but let's be honest. That shit's shipped in by the same company that's shipping food to Burger King.
I guess it's fast food. I feel like anything without French fries.
Freaky fast. It's in the name, they tell you.
It's been a little bit of a back and forth here in this second
There's
half.
Deshaun
What do you want to
Foster
see from your
talking.
Defense to get off the field there.
Just continue to play with discipline. You know, we're kind of bailing them out a little bit. A couple situations that we bailed them out. Every time we've got a penalty, they've made a big play. So we got to stop hurting ourselves.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, fourth quarter.
You need that clip,
And
man.
Nebraska moving the football, 27-14.
Royal Pine said, all right, seems like everyone's getting hopeful. Go ahead and assume the position. Be prepared to be disappointed.
Right.
Dylan Raiola, he's going to give it.
Harberg. Oh, we're doing our trick play. Gotta let it go! Banks got it for 9 yards. You hope a trick play will get more than 9, but...
You hope it gets more than 9, but it's also such a long developing play that if they don't bite and the guy's wide open, it's not worth it because you're getting somebody's coming scot-free at your quarterback.
That defense is Banks.
I know you're trying to get homeboy deep there, but they didn't bite.
Look, when Dylan Raiola and company, they know where the defense.
All right, now let's run it again later in the
time.
quarter
They've been able
and have
to
Harberg
have
turn
positive
around
plays.
and hardcore pump fake and then
Positive
take
one
off
right there as he found the laces.
on that
Two
key.
tight ends in the game. Play action to Dowdell.
Okay. Quicker.
Bro, he loves the hurdle. He
I know, but
spams
if he gets that
triangle.
ball out a little quicker, he can turn and start setting up how he's going to make that guy miss. I know he wants to see if one of the receivers gets open.
I'll tell you what, I love this right now from Marcus Satterberg. This guy's been under a ton of
But
heat.
it's like
He just said,
coming out.
I love this from Marcus Satterberg. We got to start calling him Satterberg.
Play action game, just try to clean up the picture a little bit for his young quarterback.
Nah, because people in the comments will be like, you guys don't even know his name.
Raiola is 8 of 9 since he threw the...
If you want your own channel, just get one.
He's really responded well. Now they're in the red zone on 2nd down. Dowdell gets cut down.
Couple yards here.
By the man who had that pick six, Kane Medrano.
Chanel.
It's been so impressive to watch this Nebraska team just continue to compete.
No, Royal Pine, we cannot. We've been begging for that for
post
the better part of the
Indiana
season.
loss. This team has rallied together in a big way.
Dowdell.
Get across.
Yeah, he got it. Come on. Come on. Come on.
I don't know. I think it looks, let's see.
They're waving it.
One official had him up for the first down nearest the ball.
10-yard line is the line to gain the first down.
Yeah, up to the top of the screen they had him. Yeah, that's easy. Good call. The bottom, I thought he had him a little short. But again, to this team, I mean, you throw a pick six in the first play of the third quarter, and you can say, oh, here we go again. They did not. Another explosive play for a touchdown. You can say, here we go again. They did not. They just continued to pound the rock. Stay a little bit ahead of the sticks, and Dylan Raiola now, he's got to navigate a moving defense in UCLA as they adjust.
Hand off. Ooh, nice. 5 yards. Maybe 6.
5.
Forward to the 5-yard line.
5.
Good job, Satterberg.
Good job. Good call, Satterberg. Stick with the run, Satterberg.
I think he's done a really nice job.
Didn't do I still want to see, when you get down this part of the field, I want to see the tight set. I want to see the play action. They hit bootleg, quarterback runs it in. It's almost always there. If not, you get one of your guys flaring over the top, so if somebody's homing down on him, he drops it over the top. But we're not going to run that, because we're going to go with wideouts. Let's put Nair, whoever's on the bottom here, in motion.
Couple of tight ends.
I mean, seriously, throw a flag.
The intended target. It was Nair who caught the touchdown.
You're allowed to hand fight 5 yards off the ball if it's against Nebraska.
And hold the receiver's hands up against his body so he can't reach up and grab it.
And then you just say, it was uncatchable. It's like, yeah, because I threw it where he was supposed to be, not accounting for him getting
and then on the snap, get your eyes to the
Third
quarterback.
and goal.
You have a much better chance to play that fade ball.
Jamal Banks, the motion man. Pressure.
Raiola under pressure. Come on, baby boy. He escapes so beautifully. Oh.
Incomplete. Jay Toia, who else?
4th down.
Was able to get his hand on it, and now it's 4th down.
Navin, absolutely. I might take a little nap in betwixt, but
in betwixt him says.
But we'll be there. We don't miss games.
And Carson Swisser, he seemed to have a little tip on the ball as well.
He did. It was his hand, actually, not Toia's. And so now it's 4th down. 0 of 1 on 4th down today.
4th and goal at the 5. Got to throw.
4th and goal.
I'd say find the ball to that freshman to freshman.
2 seconds, timeout.
And now Raiola's going to take a timeout with the play clock very low.
Timeout.
You ever notice when we come down to a critical play, we can't get the ball off in time, we have to call a timeout, or it's always some kind of chaos setting up for it? Never like a rhythm, like, yeah, let's go. A lot of confidence here.
It's an astute observation, but I taught you that. So let's not have everybody thinking that you came up with that on your own. Because that's
fair enough.
Misinformation
Plus,
and
that's just gonna piss you
disinformation.
off.
And you don't want that.
The last thing I want.
My testosterone
I'd rather silence
levels,
everyone than listen to misinformation.
If you had any idea where my testosterone levels were at right now, you'd shut the hell up.
Okay, first off, you're pronouncing it wrong. It's testosterone.
Sorry.
Second of all, I'm guessing you're on that locust juice by the looks of you.
Locust bean gum juice. People aren't ready for that. Shyman says field goal try. I was thinking that. I normally am always calling for it, but I don't think you can do it in this situation because then you're still down 2 scores. I don't know. I mean,
you have to go for it.
You have to go for it, right? Although I would love to see a field goal here. It's just
I would not.
Because either way, you have to come back and score twice. Diego, what up, bro? A real changed man is here. Diego.
Mm-hmm.
No? No, Jim, these, if you guys have heard of that brand Factor, they do like the pre-made meals and stuff. They're so good. They sent us a bunch of protein shakes for free just so we could try them. And I was reading the ingredients, and one of the ingredients is locust bean gum. And it's just like kind of freaked me out. Almost don't want to know what that is. All right, call the play. What is it?
I'm sure it's something stupid. It's probably something where he's going to have to dance around in the pocket for 45 minutes.
Do they play some sort of zone item?
Because God forbid we create a misdirection and like a quick over the middle or a quick fade where somebody's open. Yeah, they'll probably bunch. You probably didn't get
Barney in motion. He rolls to the left. He's pressured and sacked.
He's so bad in these situations. That's a microcosm of the end of the game in overtime in Illinois. Like, just cannot handle the moment. That's what you get having two freshmen, man.
What a play. It looked like they were either setting up a screen to Barney or something in the corner, but there was nothing doing. And the aggressive UCLA defense rolls the dice. They get a strike.
Well.
Dan Osborne thinks you're stupid. Seen this?
Social Security to illegals? Who would be for that?
Well, the answer.
He's paused momentarily.
Shyman, I still think even I mean, even in retrospect, even hindsight being 2020, I think you had to go for that. Because you're like, well, but then you have to get 2 scores. It's like, no, even with a field goal, you'd have to get 2 scores. So you wouldn't have advanced your position at all. You know. That's like trying to play for a stalemate. It just isn't worth it. But damn, I didn't expect that. Larry says, no, they should have taken the field goal. Okay, explain it to me. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. Explain to me why we should have taken the field goal. All right. And it is very ironic for me to be the one saying this because when me and Gary played college football together on NCAA, I'm always the guy arguing we should go for field goal.
That's your whole game plan.
My whole game plan is how many field goals can I kick?
Appreciate you, Bruce Davis.
Of course, man. Priest Bruce.
You by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Like, I can kind of make an argument for taking the 3.
No, you can't.
Carson Schlesinger with a huge sack.
Let me guess. It's a basket weaving analogy. Let's hear it. Give us what you got.
To start this UCLA drive, Nebraska just got stopped.
False start. Offense, number 89. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
All right, let's go back to 4th down. Yeah, so they're going to motion Barney, the freshman. But this UCLA defensive front, right before the snap,
dude, if Bullock could have just turned and sat down right where the S is at.
And there was just movement up front.
Give him a target.
Defensive tackles became defensive ends. Defensive ends became defensive tackles.
Daldo got shoved into the quarterback, man.
Again.
First and 15.
TJ Harden with the carry. It felt like there were 15 players on the defense at the snap. I mean, it was just incredible. Of course,
I mean, there's still
Schlesinger,
time if you can get a stop or two.
Madrano,
You're going to have to get two, obviously, but
Schlesinger, what an incredible story.
it's not like it's over, it definitely feels like it is, but it's like, if this team was anything close to what we anticipated
in the country and in the league
earlier in the season, you'd be like, they'll be all right.
Guys, I was just watching Carson Schlesinger
2 touchdown wins it, not even need it for a tie. But it's like,
just to watch that last
I feel like as soon as we get the ball back,
of plays there on the iPad, then more and more guys
it's a matter of time before they get it.
to watch the play. None more excited than Kane Madrano.
Or it's one busted coverage from being on the other side of the 50.
Not only did Schlesinger make the sack,
Hand off. Shoestring tackle there from Tommy Hill. So the argument to me for the field goal is, if you're really trusting your defense, you think you're going to get the ball more than you're really going to, probably going to actually get the ball. Also, if you think you're going to be able to get a turnover, generate something like that, or you're really thinking they're going to be super conservative and you're going to be able to 3-and-out them, you might get more chances.
You could do all those things and still be behind.
Yeah, I know. They've got 2 timeouts left.
And then you're like, God, if they'd have gone for it and got it, now you're putting the game away instead of still chasing, but just being closer.
Really good on 3rd down.
Okay, good defense. No flags.
And made it a very difficult throw.
I love it.
Yeah, Tommy Hill was all over Bryce Pierre on the route. You see it right here at the bottom of the screen. This is corner on tight end. He runs a route for him in the hip pocket. The only place for Garbers to go, he goes to his tight end.
I disagree on the trusting the defense being why you kick the field goal. I think you trust the defense, so you go for it knowing worst case you get the ball back close to midfield, if not their side of the field, because of where you're giving them the ball at.
And Nebraska's going to have good field position to start that drive.
What, bitch? Is that too much? It's meant to be light and playful.
And playful? Wow.
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Does this game have any intentions on ending soon?
You don't get to ask a question like that. It's above your pay grade. Diego with the $5 dono says, Gary, free Larry from your basement. His butt can't take it anymore. Hashtag free Larry. Hashtag changed man.
Well, see what I can do.
You need to start adding hashtag CTESPN, Diego. Okay? Attack says a field goal would have helped.
How? Seriously, like at this point, you're in the
I'm
last
with you.
I'm asking him.
Yeah.
Like you're at the last quarter of the game. A field goal gives you to where you're still down 10. You're still down 2 possessions. Getting a touchdown, you're down 1 possession. Not getting a touchdown, you're still down 2 possessions. You lost nothing by not adding on 3 points there. And you would have gained nothing by adding on 3 points there.
If it was, how about this? If there was 1 second left in the 3rd quarter, I would have been advocating for the field goal.
Maybe.
What about you?
I wouldn't have advocated for it, but I would have been like, okay, I get it.
More comfortable with it than in that sitch?
Winning on the road at Wisconsin for the first time.
Yeah, I get what you guys are saying with the points, but like you do that, you still have to score on 2 possessions, and you don't have the lead. Now you're going to overtime at best. So like,
Nebraska taking
you essentially need 3 scores. You need 3 scoring possessions if you set up the last one.
Edge run, Barney. Okay, got about 8 there. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna go pee.
He fumbled.
UCLA is claiming they have
Shut up.
but this is ruled down.
He was down. The ball came out after. I just wanted to scare. I just wanted you to piss a little before you got to the bathroom.
It's a 8-yard pickup for Barney.
Well, it's the right idea. He needs to continue to be featured in this offense. He's made all of the explosive plays for this
second and
offense. Continue to find ways, and if I'm UCLA, they're going to double him right here at the bottom of the screen. Kind of take him away.
Probably running based on the tight end.
Catch and a 27-yard catch.
Nope. A little play action.
Raiola
doing a little running and gunning and slinging it out of bounds.
Nebraska's lucky they didn't get a penalty there for an offensive lineman downfield.
Jesus Christ.
Well, if the quarterback throws the ball away, then they will not
offense.
call
Pathetic-ass offense. You are correct, sir.
But Barney double covered. There's a safety on him. There's a corner on him. They try to set up a screen again. Nothing doing there.
About field goals. Should have been 6. Would have been with a competent play call.
Outside of the tackle box.
Possibly.
So now 3rd and 2.
Raiola sucks. I don't think he sucks. I think he's a true freshman that going to have to develop, and you have to watch him develop instead of him doing it in practice for a year or two like most true freshman quarterbacks. Unbiased boxing talk, I couldn't agree with you more. Sometimes more than 5 seconds, and somehow people aren't open.
Yeah, guys, this kind of comes back to what we saw when Nebraska was moving the ball a little bit, right? It was a little bit of that downhill run game. Saw that again there.
All right.
Dowdell, and
1st and 10.
The way that these offensive linemen for Nebraska.
Looks like Fedoni's back at tight end. Put the underneath route. He didn't look Dowdell. Goes deep. Fedoni looked like maybe Gator armed it a little bit. I feel like if he really reaches up, he gets it.
Kind of feels a little bit more like pass when they're
was a tight window though.
Been more
Let's see the replay. I feel like he can almost like
I think every
brings his elbows back down a little bit.
Things, whether it's the alignment of the back, we've seen that at times. The alignment of the tackle, to your point, Rhett. UCLA trying.
Carter Nelson probably does catch that, but unfortunately we'll never know because the few times he is on the field, he's just out there for exercise.
Parallel to the quarterback, looks like he's going to be in pass protection. Tackles are up.
3 wide, Fedoni and
Raiola completes, and
drops
that
it
is
down and throws it.
And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Low and hard enough
everything's 4-down territory.
that Emmett has to try to trap it and can't catch it
wrong.
wrong.
Find a little rhythm here offensively. You get a 1st down here, and you want to go.
Jesus.
Right? If you're Dylan Raiola, if you do get going, it also slows down the movement, the post-snap movement of UCLA's defensive line.
Just about 8 minutes. This has been a 2.5 minute drive that's gone for 15, 20 yards. Good run by Emmett, cut back in. I don't know that he needed to do that. Like he could have just turned the Jets on and got to the edge and went out of bounds. But 1st and 10 regardless.
And getting a 1st down. You'll see a quick little huddle from Nebraska, but they've got to get to the line of scrimmage. If I'm UCLA, I'm taking away 17 at the top of the screen in the slot right there.
4 wide with Fedoni.
Good pocket.
Emmett in the backfield drops. Caught by Nair over the middle, keeps his feet down to the 9. I mean, if he could have got one more step to gather his balance, he probably could have taken that.
On the back, coming out of the backfield, finds his receiver on the dig route, beautifully thrown
flat
ball.
It's a really nice spiral and it let him, dude.
And again, this 6-year veteran Nair makes a play. And here comes
almost looked like you out there when you played for the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
1st and goal.
Never fails.
9-yard line, 1st and
9-yard line, Fedoni in tight. Barney in motion, back out.
Come on, throw a strike, Daddy-O. Okay, there's Mahomes. There's Mahizzle. There's
the wobbler go.
No. We got a hold, baby.
That'd be nice. Was there 2 holdings? Did Barney and Banks get held?
Penalties, and it looks like that might be what this is.
17 times this season, opponents have been called for PI.
I hope I look like this dude when I'm
16 of the 17.
Holding. Defense.
Just a
distance to the goal. Automatic.
The ref?
1st down.
Yeah.
Well,
all I ever think to see that dude is save some bitches for the rest of
I thought it was going to go right there to Barney. He's wide open.
He's like,
but the rush.
Banks get held like crazy.
And 7.
Barney gets held. Yeah, that's too old. We should get 30 yards for that.
You know what's crazy is 7 was like inconsolable. What do you mean?
How about this though? How about this though? If there's holding in the end zone, it's a safety.
A few minutes ago on 4th down.
Why can't there be an automatic touchdown when it's defensive holding in the end zone? Tight set. Tried to get tricky and lost 5.
Therefore, the tackle.
For the tackle, he blew up the entire thing. You'll see number 2.
Can we get one more of them holding calls, please?
Immediately into the backfield.
Call one on us.
He's so not just strong, but he's so fast. I mean, this is a guy that used to play inside backer. He's a dynamic athlete.
Just run an offense, dude. We don't.
Now
not everything has to be like, oh, this is really gonna get him.
Get ball, wreak havoc. He's been doing that all game.
Reaction.
I like this.
Go.
Oh, don't get hurt now, Daddy-O.
He got popped.
That was Cajo and Schlesinger, and Raiola is down.
That should be targeting.
Officials time.
Targeted his ribs.
Target is.
Hey, you know what? I hope he's fine. He looks like he's in a lot of pain. Might have dislocated his hip. Heinrich Harberg will get this in the end zone.
Zone coverage.
I feel confident.
Everybody's deploying, much like he did.
Damn, man. He just totally sacrificed his body for the team.
Yeah. A lot of people are going to say he should have slid, but he's literally trying to get into the end zone.
Yeah, he's trying to make a play.
Good on him.
Yeah, that didn't look like that bad of a hit.
It's bad, but I mean, if all your momentum's going forward and your hips get knocked backwards, that's that Bo Jackson. He tried getting up too, and it was like, nah. Harberg, we don't need you practicing passes. We need you chopping your feet and getting ready to run all
on
of these
display,
dudes.
right, all season. Anybody you talk to says, man, he's come in with such a professional mindset, endeared himself with great humility to his teammates. And on the field, he just left it.
Props to him, though, like giving himself up, trying to
Well,
get in
UCLA
there.
defensive coordinator Kaiko Malloy told us, I know the family. He goes way back with the family. He knows Dominic well. He said, this is a tough kid. This is a tough family.
They can't dick around, though. I mean, they've wasted a lot of time on this drive. They got to punch this in.
Heinrich Harberg now.
Because you know UCLA is going to go clock kill mode. If they get more than maybe 2 first downs, this might be the last time we touch the ball. You got to get going.
Who's a true vet, right? He started at quarterback, not just the H-back dynamic.
What do you think, flea flicker? Into a screen, reverse.
Double reverse.
Into
a triple
Statue
reverse.
of Liberty.
Harberg keeping it, trying to find his way.
That's not
another
what we do.
4th down coming up inside the 5-yard
We don't need to kill
line
clock
for
for them,
Nebraska.
guys.
Sidveni Havili Kafusi and Jay.
You just, I mean, if you're going to run up an A or B gap, hand it to a running back. The whole point of your quarterback run game is so you can get everything flowing one way and have them take off the other way. You go right.
But also, they want to get that extra block.
And nobody blocked. Nobody blocked.
And I think
Dowdle didn't clean hit a dude. Liebenmeyer, whatever his name is, he acted like he was trying to score a touchdown.
Defense.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Automatic first down.
The best play we've been calling all game.
This has been an epidemic for UCLA today. Sidveni Havili Kafusi. The last 2 unsportsmanlike penalties. You see 95 in white is what you're looking for. The last 2 have led to touchdowns. And you can see him pulling Gunnar Gatula off the pile.
Did you see it?
They're saying him pulling Gunnar Gatula off of him was the penalty.
Is called third one of that ilk.
Oh my God!
This dude has zero crew, like no concept
the
of
biggest thing for UCLA
situations,
is that
man.
can be
Like
debated,
zero.
but I think that's fair. Is now they've just got to create their composure as Dylan Raiola.
I mean, it's getting to the point where it doesn't matter if we score here. They're just letting so much time run off. There's been over 5-minute drive.
It continues to tick.
Raiola is out, but he's spasming up. He has to come back out. Oh, poor guy.
Officials time.
Through the roof. You just hope he's okay.
15.
He just ran back out. He looked okay.
Why would you send him back in?
He felt something as he got to the huddle.
They're going to have to burn a timeout.
So the clock stops at 4:35 before 2nd and goal.
It has been a physical game for him. Think of the first drive of the game.
Yeah.
To now, he's been under pressure.
He threw something out, bro.
His toughness is one of his traits that stand out. His teammates have truly fallen in love with just his approach to the craft. You hope that he is okay. We had a chance to spend
1
time
year
with his
away from
parents.
that bowl game, Gary.
Pre-game as well. We know they're
The
in
most
attendance.
vanilla offensive play caller would be a significant.
Would do here.
Foster now guy. He had a moment to probably talk to his team and say,
I mean,
okay,
you
guys,
could do
let's
a
settle
basic
down
like
here.
play action
Now we're
roll
coming in. We know
and
the
have
quarterback. We
one
anticipate
option
QB
in the
run
end
game.
zone, and at
We
least
know the
create the
situation, second
the
and goal is
threat
clearly
of
four
a
down
pass,
territory.
and your quarterback can run.
And Harberg
And then if it
is
doesn't
in the
work, you
game.
come back the next
Down
play,
in
and they
the
don't
game.
know you're
Evan
just
Johnson in the
100%
game.
going to try and go up the gut.
I bet you this is a
Up the gut
sneak,
play.
Cube sneak. No, he's rocking back too far.
Pitch. Johnson cuts it up. And
Damn!
Now you're in.
He got to the one at least.
Hurry
but
up, guys. Line up and go. What are they doing? Even if you go 3 and out, your offense hasn't done shit to make you think we can go down and punch one in real quick. Like, you need a lot of time.
That's
We're gonna go in shotgun.
That is, yeah, that's definitely an offsides. That's what that flag is. I swear it better not be false start.
They would have blown it dead if it was false start. I mean, if it was offsides on the offense.
Number 93. Penalties declined.
False start on the defense, they'll let the play go.
I taught you that.
I'm learning.
The high-flying Dante Dowdell.
Dude, they ran
And a
so
chance
much
to make
time
it a
off the clock.
6-point game.
I think the game's over. I think he just did UCLA a favor.
Well, it's not over except for the fact that you're going to have to come out and throw with Harberg. So if that means
I don't
it's
care if
over,
you come out and throw with Peyton Manning. The way this offense is taking so long to get it in the end zone when they do. By the time UCLA runs clock, you get the 2-minute warning. You only have 2 timeouts.
Oh!
Probably not going to have any. Doesn't matter. You're probably not going to have any. That's why you don't kick field goals.
Nebraska just refuses to
What are you
go
going to do? Like, how are you going to stop the clock? You're going to be predictable the other way because I know you're going to have to throw.
Coming up here in Lincoln, back in 30.
Okay, trainees, let's work on our
He
fast and
really
friendly
missed
train
that.
service.
Eyes on the phone now.
He really missed that.
Drive-through.
Your repairs have been scheduled. Nice.
So is it safe to assume that since he missed that, he would have missed a field goal on the last possession?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. You know, here's what I was going to say about why the time isn't quite as bad as you're making it out to be. I think because teams, the defenses normally are going to go into some prevent shit and it's softer, and then you go more balls to the wall to get in a scoring position, and that usually is what happens. Like that usually works in the offense's favor. David Matney, living in Omaha, $20 donuts. Appreciate you guys still doing the stream, of course. Thank you. We've been through worse, and we will go through worse still.
Save their timeouts on that drive. I'd kick it deep.
And the pressure will be on UCLA. A fair catch made.
Kick is into the end zone.
Unsportsmanlike penalties have been
No, the time is
extremely punitive for
atrocious.
UCLA.
Like,
Every
it's
touchdown.
people should be losing their mind at the clock.
Number one
that
pillar
drive.
in the program under first-year head coach Deshaun Foster.
Aside of like a
Discipline,
pick
he's
six
only
or a
action
very quick turnover, you just lost the game.
But part of being a head coach is managing the circumstance, managing the situation. Those are in the past. Right now,
You only have 2 timeouts in the 2-minute warning. If you don't go immediate 3 and out or a quick turnover, the game's over.
Run up the gut is stopped by Sherman immediately.
How do you call this game right now if you're UCLA?
Well, I'm of the ilk of you got to call the offense like you have all game long.
Officials time, injured player defense, number 0.
See Nash, Hutmaker.
Hutt is injured.
All right, tell me more.
JB, there was some.
In a moment.
I was crying a little bit earlier. They were getting away with a lot of holds, but overall, the officiating hasn't been horrible this game.
Yeah, we've definitely seen worse, right?
Yeah.
Jahan Sampson said, can Harberg throw? A little bit, but you also have Danny Dimes. This would be a really fun time to throw him out there and see if he's ready. He gets 4 games, and they want to give him 4 games. They want to get him some playing time. He stuck around. He deserves to be rewarded with some playing time. And he's definitely...
I just hope they don't go so, which he's going to. Satterfield is going to, but I hope they don't go so predictable running quarterback play calls where it's either he keeps it up the middle, he hands it off to somebody up the middle, or fake handoff and he tries to run outside. Like, if those are the only 3 plays they're going to let him run.
You got to keep
There's no
the
point
ball in
having
the
him.
hands of your star quarterback and let him make decisions. Look, J. Michael Sturdivant in street close. He's not on the field, so you're going to employ multiple tight ends from a personnel grouping. But that's a trusted
Bro, do you go for
position
2
for Ethan Garbers
if you were to hypothetically score?
To me, they have had
because you
probably because the defense has actually done a pretty good job with their defense. Well, but I don't know if their offense is just being conservative this half because they had a 2-possession lead.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still have to stop them.
They're not. We're not winning. They fucked up the time.
The play clock as long as they get it off.
You have to get it like a
good
quick
tackle,
3 and out, or you have to get. They're gonna get it on this. This is what I'm saying. They get this first down. Wrap.
And a player is down for UCLA.
My first thought was going to be is Nebraska.
They completely shit the bed
and then
on
we
that
see an
last
injured
drive.
Player. It's Bryce Pierre, 87, who you saw blocking at the very end of that play for Berger.
So the clock naturally stops. Pseudo gives Nebraska a tight end, a timeout due to the injury to the tight end. Unfortunate circumstances.
Every time they show that dude, it looks like he's walking up to a fight, like he's getting ready.
Nebraska doesn't have to make the decision on if they want to burn a timeout on this 3rd down.
UCLA started so good on 3rd down, but they've
getting cooked by Eric Bieniemy.
Okay, so here's the question.
Wouldn't it be nice to have him?
4-down territory.
How good did he do with the real Patrick Mahomes? Imagine what he could do with mini magic.
The huddle number 73. I think an opportunity, 2 downs to get it here if I'm the Bruins.
3rd and 1. Hopefully the 400 people still there can make some noise.
In the middle of that Nebraska defense after he limped off 2 plays ago.
Fullback Leo Kemp as well enters the game.
I can't believe so many fans left, to be honest, man.
I can.
Long huddle for UCLA.
This is the worst game they played all year.
You wouldn't have left.
They hurry
No.
up. They give it to Berger.
What a stop!
I wouldn't be surprised or blaming anyone else if they did. Now call a timeout. Nah, probably don't.
They called it.
You got a 2-minute warning. Yeah, I'm fine either way.
They're trying to get an extra one with the 2-minute timeout as he's talking to Tony White. Situationally here.
I hope the guy UCLA goes for it.
Well, you go back, and here's the stop. This is Tommy Hill. This is the guy we didn't know if he was even going to play in the game.
Tommy Hill.
Due to an injured foot the last
on
couple
one
he just keeps his arms
wheel.
draped around the back. Berger.
Gets her done.
Right in the middle of the screen there.
I mean, I haven't seen Jeremiah Charles since that first drive of the game.
That Minnesota game. I get it. They were backed up.
Hopefully that's because there he is.
But it was a 4th
Maybe
and
he
short,
wasn't
an
there.
opportunity
Yeah, I
to
just
run
ain't
the
paying
ball to
attention.
keep the clock moving.
But I say hopefully it's
UCLA
because Hills felt good and
They
he's like, I'm
decided
good
to
to
punt
go,
it,
and not
down
because
came Minnesota, and they win the game on the final drive.
Charles is eating shit. Here we go again, dude. We use the timeout. They got a guy hurt, right?
Last week he had a 4th down deep in his own territory against Rutgers, and he went for it, and he got it.
So it'd be 2 weeks in a row we use the timeout. They have a guy hurt. We didn't need to use it. They should have had to use it.
Part of you might be
But
saying,
I
well,
don't think that
he
was
wants to be aggressive.
I'm a big
gotta
dummy.
understand the
They're punting.
situation. I would not be
Oh my God, they're punting.
He said not to block it. Did you see him?
So now are you facing a guy you
Really?
might think is a
Like,
little
yeah,
more
Rule was like,
one-dimensional in Heinrich Harberg.
I think they want to try and get somewhat of return.
Richter to punt it away to Garcia
They
Castaneda.
look like they're set for return. Maybe they're set for a fake.
Set for a fake, yeah.
And this sends Garcia Castaneda back to about the 20.
Jesus.
And so
That was a good punt, bro.
Long ways to go.
That was a good punt.
I hope first play he throws
like
it.
they had this game in hand, Yogi, and then Nebraska
Because
really
then
I
you
hope
can
first
start
play they
setting
do
up
a
for him
read
to-
option. He reads it correctly and houses it like Taylor Martinez. You know? Shit, like Hunter Harberg, Heinrich Harberg.
How wild would it be
Hunter
if
Hurst
Raiola's
Helmsley,
like
Heinrich
out,
Harberg.
can't come back this year, and Harberg just takes him? They win out.
Don't say all that.
They win out and he wins a Heisman on playing 4.5 games.
Relax, all right? Just go ahead and relax. Barney in motion. Hand off. He's going to keep.
Gets a yard, maybe 2.
Don't worry, guys. The clock's our friend. We can do dumb shit like that.
Well, it looks like they're trying to get another playoff before the 2-minute timeout.
But you don't want to be frivolous here. You want to make sure you're on line, manage it properly.
4, 3.
They do get it
Oh, he's going to throw
Harberg throws. That's
for 2-3 yards.
Out, and it's incomplete. And a third down and 8 coming up.
Well,
the 2-minute timeout.
It was fun
Matt
while it lasted.
Rule and his team, they've faced so much adversity
Look,
the last 2 weeks.
you're upset about that, and I get that.
I'm furious about the way they handled the
it.
clock on that last possession. You acted like you were down by 1 possession.
Listen, can I take you inside the mind of Marcus Satterfield real quick?
It's not Marcus Satterfield. That's
Sorry.
Matt Rule. That's a Matt Rule special.
Marcus
Just act like the
Satterberg.
clock is endless. We can plug as many extra minutes at the end as we want to. There's no such thing as clock management. And then when we lose, it's I got to be better. And then you're never better at managing the clock. Ever. Since he's been in Nebraska, there hasn't been one game where clock management was important and he did a good job managing it. Whether we've won, lost,
I thought you were upset
it's
about the
never
short
been because of
passes.
No, I'm mad that you took 9.5 or 10.5, whatever it was, minutes off of the clock in the fourth quarter to get 1 score when you're down 2 possessions. That's insanity. Your defense is showing they're doing a good job the second half stopping them. So you're assuming you're getting the ball back. It's not like you're conceding this loss and hopefully we can get 1 more garbage touchdown and not make it look bad. You haven't been able to bang, bang, bang and score. Every time you've scored, it's been long, drawn-out drives and saved by unsportsmanlike penalties. So what makes you think, as long as we got 2 minutes, we can go 3/4 of the field and score?
So you think you know more than Matt Rule is what you're saying?
Time management, 1,000% I do.
I think you'd probably crumble under the pressure out there. You'd be too scared to call timeout.
I'd be terrified. I'd be trying to text you like, what do I do here? I don't know what to do with that. You teaching me everything.
I'm kind of the Vince McMahon and you're my Hulk Hogan.
I'm Shane McMahon. I'm Shane O'Mac.
You just want a hug.
I just want you to tell me you're proud of me. God damn it. That's all I want.
Shane O'Mac, Gary O'Mac.
State Farm postgame to follow. Complete reaction to that one. Ashley Adamson and Marcel Reese join me. And then we get you set for our nightcap as well. Washington and USC, 88th all-time meeting between these longtime rivals, both with 4 wins, both scratching and clawing for bowl eligibility. Let's go back to Guy and Yogi.
And meanwhile, Nebraska scratching and clawing to try and perhaps pull off something historic.
No bad.
If they are able to come back today, it'd be the 2nd largest comeback win in program history. Trailed 27-7.
3rd and 8, folks. Exactly where you want to be with Heinrich Harberg.
I'm with you a little bit, Elmar. Wouldn't that be dope if that's how we did it?
Out of the 2-minute timeout, it's 3rd down and 8.
It was a ballot.
Harberg.
No coaches we can hire.
Steps up into the pocket.
That's a hold. We got away with a hold.
And he might have lost.
You know, why wouldn't he throw the ball out of bounds instead of...
Stupid. That's stupid. Rule would be pissed if he managed the yards and clock at the same
Actually,
time.
it's a 3-yard loss.
Well, for UCLA, they have what they call like their NASCAR packs, right? The fastest defenders on their roster are on the field. Only one true defensive lineman in Jay.
Come
on. Right over
on.
the ball. They got Oluwafemi Oladejo playing defensive tackle. They got linebackers
I'll take one of those 15-yard flag plays.
Y'all got any more of them in your pocket?
Got any more of them on Sportsman likes?
Play clock was really low, and so A timeout.
I feel like
by Nebraska. 30-second break for us.
We're on the Titanic as it's going down.
They had to waste their final timeout because even though he ran out of bounds and the clock reset, they couldn't get a play in and set up before the play clock went out. Good Christ,
and you don't like that.
I'm weird like that.
Mm.
I'm one of those weird guys that thinks you should have time on the clock to finish a comeback that you're trying desperately to achieve, even though you have no business being in the situation you're in after the way you played all game. Call me nuts. You call the timeout before the punt, which, okay. It's not like that gap between there and the 2 minutes going to be wasted. There's enough time to get the punt and get a playoff. But you run a shitty run play from your own 20 or wherever they were at. So that was a waste. Goes to 2-minute warning anyway. Or you try to hurry up and do another one. You wasted it down essentially.
At the bottom of the screen.
Whatever. There's so many issues with this clock management stretch.
Harberg. Toye in his face.
Oh my God, he hit Nair. Oh, bro. 4th down and we get it.
You see him, number 17, he runs vertical, takes the safety, and then
hell of a throw. Might have had Barney deeper, but I'll take her.
Harberg to the sideline.
Oh.
Incomplete, 1:35. Stops the clock.
From Nebraska, Marcus Satterfield, Glenn Thomas and company. I like these half-field reads. Just kind of
good thing you burnt that timeout
because
you couldn't get a play set in 30 seconds, whatever it is.
So you just got to beat the rush of Oluwafemi Oladejo and company. Again, he's going to line up all over that defensive line, and he's going to come with some heat.
Like at this point, just put your fastest receivers out super wide, run them all on fly routes, and if one's open, hit them. If not, Harberg, just run it up, get a first down, stop the clock.
This ain't NCAA. Deep shot. Oh, Banks of all people didn't haul that in.
That was a.
Let's see how it looks.
Look how fast he throws this thing.
He led him in everything. That's 100% on Banks.
I don't think he needed to lay out for that.
No.
He just stays in stride.
No timeouts for Nebraska.
Honestly, dude, like I'm not trying to be funny or like make excuses. They're probably so used to like how Ryle is always trying to put,
thinking
like,
the same thing
and float it, and
I was thinking
Heinrich's
the
out here
same
like
thing.
Darts.
Still playing zone coverage.
4-man pressure. Harberg.
Take it, Harb. Take it, Harb. Run his bitch ass over, Harb.
Guy, if he saw it early, I thought he had Barney down the seam for a big play, maybe even a touchdown. You'll see it right here. Look at this area of the field. There's Barney right there. Right there.
Yeah, you know what Rule's going to say after this one. You're so right, bro. Like, you said it exactly right.
I mean, it's one of those things
He's going to be like, man, these guys fought hard. I'm so proud of them. They never quit.
We let him down as coaches. I let him down.
Nebraska had a
prepare
chance.
for this better. I need to do that.
They're reviewing if he got the first or not.
Who gives a shit?
Ruling on the field was first down. Where is
We're not worried about first downs at this point. He's trying to gouge yards on the way to the end zone.
Come on, this way we can have a couple Wendy's commercials.
That's a good point.
Which makes it a little tougher to tell.
I was thinking, I'm still not decided who I'm voting for. So if I could get a couple
You don't know yet.
political
See?
commercials, maybe I can make my mind up today.
Yeah. Well, the one thing you could point to is you see the hash mark where he steps is the line to gain, right? The 48.
Yeah, they're getting open
there
since they went zone, but they're also getting open because they're worried about the quarterback taking off.
I mean, you know, you could guess that maybe he's short a little, but
if it's like, if it needs to be conclusive, I don't know about all that.
I don't care. As long as the clock stops. Like, you're going for it for all 4 downs no matter where you're at. Like, let's just call it what you want to call it. Let's go. They're not gonna set up a play to run for a yard and get the first down. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter.
What do you think?
Yeah, we're looking at courses across the field there, and these are tough to judge.
The further review, the actual live field stands.
Cool, that's a free timeout for us to draw something up.
You look at the live shot and actually.
I think what they're drawing up is like everybody go deep.
And then when you look at the foot down,
if somebody's open, I'm throwing it. If not, I'm going to try and take off and get out of bounds. Or get the first so the clock stops.
As in replay, it's got to be absolutely indisputable. And it's really, you really cannot.
You think you're man enough to predict some shit like that?
100%.
For Nebraska, 121. No timeouts.
Harberg looking deep, throwing.
And it's broken up. That's Kalen Moore.
I mean,
those
he
are the
was
type
pretty
of
draped over the back of him.
And this is just
you tell me there was no contact before the ball hit?
Watch him go over the top.
He's got both arms around
Nice job of just playing that ball on the dig route where they've had a ton
I'm
of
so
success
proud of Harberg, bro.
in this ball game.
I'm so proud of Harberg, man.
It's really good in terms of the timing of the contact.
To come in cold in this type of moment and to look like this.
9th play of this drive for Nebraska.
Here comes pressure. Here comes pressure. Yeah. Fedone down.
Out of bounds, dude.
He tried.
No, he didn't. He tried to turn to cut in, catch the ball, and go out.
Well, he tried after that, though.
Oh, after.
Once two people had him held down, yeah.
Once two guys were holding him inbounds, then he tried to go out.
That makes sense for it.
On 3rd down, he gives it.
Handoff. We're going to get that first down. Let's go. Sped up. Come on, boys. Stop the clock.
You've got to continue to call aggressive defenses and not be afraid of your Sean Foster to call a timeout. If you need to reset it, you can.
48 seconds.
Snap the ball.
Fedone in motion.
3-man rush.
He's going to throw it. Okay, to Fedone. That's okay. Okay. I mean, flag down, though. No runoff, right?
I wonder if this is on the formation.
Please no runoff.
Didn't seem to be any real contact there.
You're talking about like if a defender jumped?
Yeah, to me on the off. Here's Nebraska lining up.
Illegal touching. Offense, number 24. The player was covered up. It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage. Loss of down.
Was it a 10-second runoff?
2nd down.
You didn't say runoff.
On it. So
It's probably not going to stop the clock, is it?
Motion. Get set. And
why are you throwing that route anyways?
Scrimmage there, and then he's the one that catches the ball as the inside receiver. So he's covered up.
The receiver has to back off at the top. All right, so after
Harberg looking deep, throwing deep. Oh my God!
Closing quickly was
almost intercepted.
And he's got it.
What?
Intercepted.
It was?
Moore took it away.
It never hit the ground.
I don't know. I was just looking at the ref saying it was intercepted.
What? All you want in moments like this is for your team on both sides to play with conviction. Harberg throws it, rips it with conviction.
Attack Ferret. What makes you think that the field goal would have been good when the next possession you missed the extra point?
Tries to play the ball with conviction.
And also, it doesn't matter. Down 4, down 7, the game's over. So the field goal would have done nothing, and you probably wouldn't have scored the next possession because you wouldn't have had the field position you did if they would have made a field goal and they would have been able to get a touchback or return a kickoff.
The Bruins get one on the road for the second straight time in one of the most.
Let's wrap this up so we can do our whatever video thing or whatnot.
And play the greatest game on earth.
Well, you know what happened, right? The Big Ten expanded, and people say, what about these West Coast teams going to the Pacific time zone, long flights? It's cold.
I'm fucking disgusted.
You should be. Everybody should be. Like it.
Like, you know how some people have a punchable face?
Yeah.
This game had a punchable face to it.
For as much as I talk about like developing players and doing all this shit, there's a lot of development that needs to happen across the board coaching wise with this team. Like from getting off of glazing certain players to like when you're not getting the job done, these guys need to play, to when situations call for it, I don't care if you're the star quarterback that everybody in the country wanted and we got you. When it's better to have a running quarterback or a veteran mindset in a tight game or a pressure cooker situation that gives you more versatility, that dude needs to come in. Your coach needs to understand clock management. Like I for the life of me, I don't understand what the fuck that dude's thinking every time we're in a tight game when it comes to managing the clock. He thinks there's an endless supply of time and he thinks there's an endless supply of timeouts. Like, I don't understand what the fuck he's doing with managing the clock, or his lack or his inability of managing the clock. It's absolutely insane. Like, I'm not a fire coaches type dude. That shit's almost fireable to me. How can you be that bad? And it's not like, I went with the analytics in this game. It was a bad idea, my bad, and you had a mishap. He's just consistently shit at managing games when you need to be on your game at managing games. That's a coach problem, not a player problem. 1,000%. We can talk all the shit in the world about Satterfield, about Foley, about all this other stuff. He's the one that has zero ability to game manage a fucking game when it's in the most critical moments of a game. I don't understand how you're at the level you're at, making the money you make. You were sought after by NFL coaches. You were sought after by a lot of college teams when it was found out you were not in the NFL anymore. They wanted you to come build the programs, do this and do that. And you can't manage a game to save your life. Like, there are 10-year-olds playing college football in Madden that manage the games on video games better than that dude manages games down the stretch that are very winnable or able to put away, and you leave it to where now the other team has a shot. It's so bad, dude. Like, it's worse than Satterfield's play calling. That aspect of Matt Rule's coaching is worse than any aspect of any coach on that roster. It's not even close. You took 10 minutes for one drive on offense and then burn timeouts at bad times and then have plays that are going 3 yards while the clock's running off, knowing that your team hasn't been able to quick score all game long. Unbelievable, dude.
And then you start the game utterly feckless, looking like high schoolers playing against college players, and then you get yourself in this hole. I mean, this is maybe it sounds silly or stupid to some people. I don't care. I don't like the hitting before the game. I like hitting. I like hitting in practice. I don't know that I want my guys tired it out for.
It's not tiring them out, dude. It's like that's.
Okay, but the last couple of times I've seen that, we've looked like dog
that must be it then. What did they have for lunch? Game. What did they have for lunch? Maybe they had blue ketchup, and that's why they like none of that shit matters. What matters is when you can't manage the clock in a tight game. That shit affects the outcomes of games. Not what color shoes guys are wearing, not what kind of speech you gave before they came out, not if they're hitting or not hitting, or the ones are going against the ones or the ones are going against the twos and warm-ups.
They're doing Oklahoma drills before the game, and then they come out looking gassed.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably what it is then.
It's true, though.
You
can't tell me I'm wrong. You can't tell me I'm wrong.
Tell you're wrong. You can't
so
tell me
they don't look gassed, and they're not...
No, because they've done the Oklahoma drills and looked great. The first game they did it was what was it?
I thought it was just Purdue and this game that I've seen them do it. Yeah, but remember they had 0 points at halftime. That's what I'm talking about. Is the feckless starts to the games. Then that's only topped by what you're saying, which is the bad management at the end of games.
That shit affects games. I mean, if there's little. What do you want to call them? Why can't I think of the word? Jinxes or whatever that are happening because of their
it's more than a jinx. It's a physical reaction.
Then, okay, cool. But 1,000%
jerseys, that's a jinx.
Time manage a game, especially when the games are close. He's dog shit at it.
Yeah, all I'm saying is you have both of those things happening. You have them starting the game like shit, ending the game with terrible management. That it's like somewhere in between, though, they're able to give themselves a real chance to win the game.
I'm saying if you game plan and you practice right and you come into a game, you have a confident competent offensive coordinator, which we know we don't, but that would be a huge leg up. But also you have a competent enough head coach that you don't shit down your leg when it comes to time management or clock management at the end of a game. If you're losing games because of your pregame warm-up rituals, everybody needs to go. Every player, every coach, everything needs to go.
You played college, not me, so I'll take your word for it. But is it normal to do full Oklahoma drills before the game? Is that something that most teams do?
I don't know if most teams do it.
I kind of understand it for the 11 a.m. because, like the early game, because you want to wake the players up. I'm just saying take that away from it. They're just starting these games terrible, and I don't understand why. They don't end the game the way they start it, man. Like, unless it's a team that they really get up for emotionally, like Colorado and like Ohio State, then they can look the way.
I honestly believe Ohio State is the reason why we look like that against them. If Ohio State would have spread out and threw on us a whole game, they could have beat us by 40. I felt like they just wanted to get out of that game as healthy as they could and be ready for Penn State. I could be wrong, but they're coming off a loss and a bye. I think they were not worried about us. They thought they could just do whatever to get out of it. I felt like they ran the ball very vanilla almost the vast majority of the game, and it made it a lot easier for us to look okay. The few times they did pass it, we looked horrible. I think if they wanted to, they could have ran the score up with no problem. But I mean, I don't know. There's no way of proving that or backing that up. It's just my theory on it. But I don't think the pregame Oklahoma drills are making it to where it's like, God damn, dude, we're exhausted. Like, I think the coaches would pick up on that. I'm saying you have to do something about your offensive coordinator. Take the calls away from him. Give him a list of the plays he's allowed to call. Whatever you have to do. I don't think you fire a coordinator in the middle of a game, or in the middle of the season.
I was gonna say.
But it's like Matt Rule, and I'm not, again, to me, and not everything's black and white. There's a lot of gray area in between everything. So when I'm saying all this, I'm not saying Rule needs to be fired. Rule came into an absolute dumpster fire of a program, still has a lot of those guys on the team. And before I can say, oh, he's the guy, you've also never heard me say that. You've never heard me say, he's 1,000% the guy. He's going to take us to the promised land. We're going to win titles with this dude. I'm like, he's turning the program around. I think he's making it look better than it did under these other guys. He's a year and a half in. Give it a little bit of time. There's other pieces along the way that can change. One thing for sure that he's absolutely dog shit at and needs desperate help. He's always talking about how he reaches out to other coaches for things. He immediately needs to find somebody that can try to help him, teach him how to manage a game when it comes down to critical moments of a game. He is horrible at when to call timeouts. He's horrible at how to speed things up, put some urgency in. Even that last drive, did you get a sense that the players were getting up from plays and hustling back to the line like they were ready to go? None whatsoever. This isn't the first game that he's wasted timeouts or that he's just kind of on the sidelines, chill, looking around, let's run this or let's do this. What are you doing, dude? You don't have the offense that's going to go score a touchdown for you in 4 or 5 plays. And nothing that happened this game should have given you the idea that you were capable of doing that, especially when your better passer goes down. I mean, that might be arguable when you were watching how Harberg was rifling those passes in, but you didn't know. I mean, I didn't know. I wasn't expecting that kind of arm from Harberg, but I'm just saying, dude, when you need 2 scores and you're running 8.5, 10 minutes, whatever that scoring drive was off of the clock, and they still have the ball and they're going to try and eat as much time as they can off, you're not getting the 3.5 minutes that are left when you finally score. You're getting whatever they run off, and maybe you have to burn some timeouts along the way. Your defense made multiple 3-and-outs for you down the stretch. Your offense, as horrible as it is, was starting to find ways to keep the ball moving. Most of it was through them getting 15-yard flags. But then you leave them with next to no time where now they've got to press and rush when they're already not that good. It makes no sense, man.
I'm so excited to hear from Rule. I think we got to listen to Rule, react, and we'll get out. It's I'm I don't understand how he cannot be mad. This is the first time I would expect him to be mad. If what you're saying is at all true about how it's the players, at what point does he
then
say
at that point, that's him.
What do you mean?
The time management, the clock management.
Right.
You can't stand there and go, the coordinators, I'm a manager of the coordinators. I let him run his offense. I let him run his defense. I let him run his special teams. I basically say, hey, I want to run the ball here. And then I let them pick the running play. I want to pass the ball here. I want to get some more pressure on the quarterback. I want to do this. Like we've heard that come out of his mouth. If you're the manager and you're letting these guys call the plays, you're not too wrapped up in that. You can't manage the clock at the end of the game ever since you've been here.
It is frustrating, man. That was the thing I always hated about Matt Nagy for the Bears. I absolutely hated his clock management. And as somebody who plays the video game, it seems so easy to understand. Why do you think it isn't when they're on the field doing it?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
You know what I mean? Like, there is a very specific set of rules when you're playing the video game as far as when to call a timeout because of what's best. Like, understanding what, the rules are, like what analytics say to do. How do we all understand that in a video game perspective, but it never gets translated into a real game?
Right, but analytics to me, I'll catch a lot of hell for this, and rightfully so. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense what I'm about to say, or there's a good argument against it. For me, I wouldn't have an analytics person on my. If I was a head coach somewhere, I wouldn't have an analytics person because analytics can't factor in for how has my offense looked all game. How has my defense looked all game? How have they looked? How has the opponent looked on third and shorts all game long? How have they looked?
I think they did a
hold that thought.
They did a good job early on of coming out and just all out maxing. Like they were literally bringing 4 guys in the B gaps and bringing the free safety behind, and some of the mechanisms we have to handle that are the screen game, and are gapping it up, maxing it up, and trying to throw the ball down the field. Eventually we got to one with Nayor where he hit them down the field and got them a little bit out of that. But they took the ball. They went on a long drive. We went 3 and out. They went on another long drive. And we had seen that against Rutgers. We had seen that, that's kind of how they play early on in the first half. Rutgers only had 3 possessions. We were able to hit the big play, make it a 7-0 game. But I think in general, in the passing game, when it came to third down and converting third downs, they were just all out zero blitzing us, and we weren't answering it the way that you need to. And once we finished the game like 9 of 17 on third down. I can't tell you in the first half. At one point, it was like 1 for a lot. So we struggled. Made the adjustment in the second. We made the adjustment early. We got it, kind of finally taken care of in the second half, and we're able to stay on the field more. And then, down in the red zone, the first time down there we scored, obviously, right? So that was, we were good there. Really, the one before the half, put the ball in the 2. We've been running the power play. We lost Barrett, so we put Elijah Judy in at fullback. He was doing a great job. He went down. So just kind of really more a matter of a couple times bodies, and then just finding the play to get in. They maxed us again, zeroed us up, and we just didn't withstand it. So in terms of everything that went wrong, in the first half, I came in to the guys, Sam in the locker room. I said, that's about as bad a half of football as you could withstand between the offense and the defense. And yet it was 13-7. So I thought we were excited to go out and play in the second half, and then unfortunately had that pick 6, but still crawled back into it. So I think there's a lot of things that we have to continue to work on.
What did they do in the first quarter to kind of tip the scale so much? 21 plays to your 3, 4 or 5 on third downs. What were they doing to get you so off balanced as a defense? Because we didn't see that last week against a team on paper in Ohio State that obviously most would consider a pretty elite offense.
Yeah, they've done that. This team, UCLA coming in, they went down the field and scored on the first drive against Rutgers. I believe they scored on the first drive against Minnesota. They have a veteran quarterback who's kind of finding his rhythm in that offense. And they won on third down versus man. They threw the shallow cross, they threw the corner route. We were able to hold them to a field goal, but we just couldn't get off the field early on in that drive on that series. And then the second time through, we really couldn't get off the field as well. As I told the guys when I kind of pulled them all up, it was we had a sack, we just kind of fell off him, he ran out. We had another one where we blitzed 5, and he went up in the 8-gap, went for about 60 yards. So a lot of little things that aren't really about talent, but just about us kind of making the play that's there to be made. And I thought we settled down a little bit after that. But I think Garber's legs hurt us, and but we came into it knowing like, hey, they've moved well early. The key to people has been wearing them down in the fourth quarter. Like that game was a carbon copy of their Minnesota game, where Minnesota got the ball back and went down the field. They just made one more play to win the game. And unfortunately, Heinrich makes the fourth down stop. We get down there and then we take a penalty, we lose the time, and we don't make the plays.
That penalty, pick 6 on the first play of the third quarter. How difficult was that to withstand? And do you think that Dylan did he not see the linebacker? And also was that an issue with him as far as not seeing things downfield at times during the game?
Well, I think he was under duress in the first half, and I think any young quarterback coming out of that would probably start to see a lot. The old saying, you see a lot, you see a little, you see a little, you see a lot. I think he wasn't real comfortable. I don't want to speak for him, but with all the things he was seeing, I don't think he was real comfortable. No, that was a play action pass to Thomas down the middle of the field into cover 2, and he was running free. It was going to be an explosive play. And in behind it is an in cut, and he just threw the in cut. So credit to him. I thought after that, he settled down. We found some run game, and again, a lot of that was kind of what we had seen people do against them. Right? They withstand the early storm from UCLA and their script, and then you kind of make the plays to get back in the game. Unfortunately, that pick 6, and really the missed opportunity down the red zone on the first time that hurt us and set it apart.
On that last touchdown drive, I know it was a little hectic with Dylan getting hurt and whatnot, but were you okay with the pace, or did you want your offense to kind of pick up the pace?
Yeah, my philosophy has been in those situations, like you're in a 2-for-1 situation, so you want to score before the 2-minute. So at 4:38, I know everyone was kind of upset. The crowd was, I think at one point Heinrich, try to get everyone to calm down. I understand why, but we knew, we had 2 timeouts, we had the 2-minute conversion, we wanted to get in the right plays. Again, some of those things. Ramir Johnson went down. Elijah Judy went down. The quarterback went down. So trying to get the right people in the game to run some of those red zone plays, was a little bit difficult. And then with what they do, right? You're getting up there and it's either cover 2 or 0 blitz. So you're kind of having to check some things. So, but in the end, it worked, right? We scored the touchdown. We scored it with 3:20 left. We stopped them. They punted the ball back to us, and we had 2:30, and we had a chance to go down and score. And in this league, if you have the ball at the end with a chance to go score and tie or win a game, that's Big Ten football. And we just didn't make the plays once we crossed the 50 you have to make, and obviously that penalty was big.
Did Dylan decide on his own to go back in the game there for a second, or did you guys clear him to go back in and then?
Well, the doctors cleared those guys, right? So I think, once the doctor said he was cleared, I just saw him running in. I wasn't part of anything saying, hey, let's get Dylan in here. I think once he went through whatever testing they had, he went to run out. And then, obviously, they just felt the pain again and just said, "Hey, I can't do this." So,
do you have a sense of where the injury was and what caused it? Was it just a hit?
I think it was a hit to his back. Yeah, I think it was his back.
How tough is this going into the bye week now? I mean, you had an opportunity, obviously, today to get to number 6. Now you got another whole week to think about this. I mean, how do you move forward from something like today?
You just try to dominate tomorrow. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it was a tremendous missed opportunity. It's a game that despite everything that happened early on, we weathered the storm and had a chance to go in. And now we have to battle back. So, it's the same question. You guys asked me after Indiana. I said, hey, we'll be back. I expect us to be back. Along the way, obviously when something like that, today happens, and that people are going to be disgruntled. You're going to hear things, and the players are going to hear things, and that's all part of it, right? That's all part of when you lose a game like this. And so, if I was in the stands today, I'd be frustrated. You know, I know a lot of guys probably in that locker room are frustrated because they know we're better than that, right? And but you know, we are where we are, and you have to just have to play yourself back into it. And we have 3 more opportunities to go play football. We've got some great seniors that, you know, I know want to win one, if not 2 or 3, and that's what we'll have to do.
I know you guys have a standard. Players talk about having a standard on defense, and it felt like last week you played with that, but maybe 2 of the last 3 games maybe didn't play with that in the first half. Do you have a sense of why that maybe hasn't quite been there in the Indiana and this game?
Well, I think, you know, sometimes you have to give credit to the other team. You know, I mean, they scored 35 points the last time they played, coming off a bye. I thought they threw and caught. You know, it wasn't like a game other than that one crack toss. It wasn't a game like we didn't tackle. We had some opportunities on the quarterback, and then we started making some plays late. You know, after that pick 6, you know, I thought the rest, you know, we come out the first drive of the second half, we have the pick 6. I thought the defense after that, you know, they did give up, you know, 1 score, but I thought they hung in there. But I think a lot of credit has to go to UCLA and their passing game and the things that they did, and quarterback making plays. You know, Tommy got back out there. You know, he went and played. So, yeah, I don't think this didn't feel like, you know, they weren't trying or anything like that. It just, you know, this was a good offense today. And, you know, I told them I prepared them. It was 17-17 against LSU, and late in the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, just LSU made the plays in the fourth quarter, and I wanted to get to the fourth quarter and make more plays than they did. And you know, we came close, but we just didn't do it.
And, after last week, we talked championship mindset and what have you. And no matter how ready they were to play today, how much did that first quarter kind of suck the life out of you? Because it was tough to get into a flow when you eventually did get the ball.
Yeah, you know,
getting the life sucked out of you is tight.
I just don't want to say that because I don't sound like I'm making an excuse. Like just the blocks, the plays, like they just weren't good enough. You know, like we just didn't do enough good plays. Like when a guy made a play, like Jacory made that amazing catch, right? Nayor makes that amazing catch. But Dante had some good runs. All of a sudden, now that leads to points. When you don't do those things, you know, you're not going to score. And so, you know, I thought, you know, credit to UCLA, they made some more plays than we did, and I don't want to make any excuses about, hey, we didn't have the ball or anything like that. You know, at the end of the day, we had our opportunities. And you know, even, you know, going down to the very end of the 2-minute, you know, we didn't quite execute, you know, getting out of bounds and lining up correctly. I mean, it's hard to win in the Big Ten if you're not going to line up correctly in 2 minutes, you know. So, and it's not just about that one play. There's lots of plays you go back through the day. So, you know, all you can do, if you're me and our players, is just go back to work and just keep grinding and try to get a little bit better at it.
You mentioned getting to the fourth quarter and making more plays. What kind of thought do you give about the way that you've started games the last 3 times out? Obviously, the defense played well last week at the start, but you know, tentative offensively the last couple. And even in Indiana, it hasn't been, you know, coming out with your hair on fire at the beginning of the game. Do you see correlation there?
Yeah, I think a lot of that, you know, again, goes back to third down. You know, the football coach in me wants to say one thing, but I never want to come across as an excuse. You know, you're playing these teams coming off byes, and they're doing different things against you, right? They've studied you for 2 weeks, and they've studied themselves, and they're coming out, and they're throwing something new at you. And I think, you know, you get a series in, you kind of settle everyone down. But, you know, we have, I mean, this wasn't good enough. You have to play better than this. You have to come out, and you have to make plays, and you can't ease your way into it, you know. You know, Jacory made a couple of big plays that you know, really allowed us to move the ball down the field. But yeah, we've got to do more early. But with that being said, you know, we've crawled our way back into it. But there's a lot of areas, obviously, Mitch, that need to be better to have a chance to win these games.
Given that, you know, Dylan seemed hurt, you know, now you do get a bye week. How much energy do you put into getting him right? But simultaneously, now you got to think about another quarterback behind Heinrich. Do you know off the top of your head who that person is?
Oh, yeah, I mean, if something would have happened tonight, Danny would have gone in there and played. You know, we get 4 quarterbacks ready. You know, Danny and Jalen, they're always ready to go. And, you know, for a really difficult situation to be thrust into, you know, Heinrich, you know, he made enough plays to have a chance. Now, you know, they were in cover 2 and not rushing. So when we held up in the rush, he was able to push the ball down the field. But yeah, no, I think Danny, you know, if Danny's called upon, we expect Danny to go play well.
Thank you.
Well, Gary, what do you think? What do you guys think about Rule in that press conference? I mean, he seemed dead to me, like emotionally just drained. Like this game really upset him, and he like I didn't see his normal chipper, like, oh, we'll be fine, you know. Oh, we just, like, it was like he literally said at one point, we're gonna try to go out there and win one of these next games, and then he caught himself and is like, or 2 or 3, but it's like normally he would be like, we still believe we're gonna go win these 3 games. We have all the reason to believe. But you could tell the doubt is even starting to creep into him. And another thing I want to say, because Gary's on his way back from going to the bathroom, just peeing a little bit. If there's anything positive, and I know no one wants to hear positive stuff right now, but Heinrich Harberg was so impressive in his stint there at the end. Like, I just feel like it would be so bad not to like give him credit where it's due. I don't want to let that get lost, because I did not expect him to be throwing the ball around the field like that when he got in there. He went in there cold, under pressure, hadn't played in God knows how long. There's a bowl game potentially on the line, and he looked like, dude, he looked like a good quarterback, and I'm not talking like runner only. He looked like a good throwing quarterback. We all know he can run. Yeah, Mr. Raj said he had 3 balls that should have been caught. Man, he was slinging it. Tight spirals through windows that blown away. And that only makes me want to see him play more when Raiola does get back. Still, like, what if he can throw the ball like that? Why the hell are you not doing plays where he gets to throw after being thrown to or running an option? Like, I think he is. Phil Spears says Harburg isn't good, bro. Okay, Phil. That's what I thought. How do you explain what he did out there? Like, are you blaming him for that last interception that went into Nayer's hands and got ripped out? Like, let's not put this on Harburg. Harburg played out of his mind. He played better than anyone thought he could have or would have. And then, yeah, shout out to UCLA too. Wolverine, like, they're impressive. Like, what I like about them is they didn't give up on their coach. Sometimes rebuilds like are shaky in the front. Like, you see that with Wisconsin. They looked like they were going to be bad this year, but they're not. They're starting to figure it out in their new system. I think that's what's happening with UCLA. It's not an excuse for us. We still should have beat them because we're further along, but
my bad.
You're good. No one's giving him the Heisman, Phil. I'm just saying, if there's anything positive to take away from this game, it's that Harburg looks like he can adequately step in for Raiola during this injury. I think we can still win one of these 3 games with Harburg starting.
I would go talk to the doctors and be like, I don't care what you see. Raiola's not going to be good to go until I tell you he's good to go.
On the hush.
It's not a knock on Raiola. It's a knock on the offense. That the offense is so bad. Having a quarterback that showed that he can actually throw the ball, maybe not as good as Dylan, that's fine, but he's capable of throwing the ball, and now you have a quarterback run game threat at least. You have to see what you can do with that. And you don't have to tell Raiola you're getting benched for Harburg. and upset him, piss him off, whatever. I don't know him to know how he would handle that if he
that would have to be some sneaky stuff with the doctors.
But I'm saying, like, the doctors being like, man, I know you feel good. I know you're moving good in practice, but.
So you want to reverse Kawhi Leonard him?
Yeah. Yeah, at least to get to have a chance going down the stretch. This offense is so bad, dude. It's atrocious. And then you add on top of that Matt Rule can't time manage to save his life.
What did you think of his comments?
I agree with you. I picked up right away on the hopefully win another game or 2 or 3. Like, he's been real adamant talking, like even just his press conference this past week. He spoke like they already are in a bowl game. He's like, we got to make sure we're doing this. So like now this year we can have these extra practices for some of these young guys and things like that before the bowl game. And now it's like if and hope and like I don't know. I feel like he's a little defeated.
Well, we're going to get out of here and make a video reaction. Be looking out for that. Hopefully we'll get it out really soon. Feel free to tell us in the comments what you guys think we should talk about in the video. We'll read it. And man, who's our next game?
USC, but we got a bye week first.
Couldn't have come at a better time.
I mean, they didn't look good after the last bye week.
I agree, but with Raiola being injured, maybe you are able to get him back. Not that you want that, but yeah. We'll see. We'll see what we want.
I think this is hurting Raiola.
Save it.
I'm just saying. The offense is so bad. You're stunting his growth at this point.
Huskers lose! Huskers lose!